World RX is in Texas for the championship showdown. And when in Austin, it's important to look the part. Welcome to the 2018 FIA World Rallycross Championship presented by Monster Energy. World RX is competing in the USA for the very first time at the Circuit of the Americas, or COTA as it's known, in the Texan state capital, Austin. Austin is a hub of sport and culture with world-renowned music venues and festivals. COTA hosts both F1 and MotoGP and now includes a purpose-built rallycross circuit to host World RX and Americas Rallycross ARX. After semi-finals that both started dramatically, the winners from the last 2 years in Latvia, Johan Kristoffersen and Sebastian Loeb, occupied the front row for the final. Like so many times this season, Kristoffersen got away cleanly with Ekstrom close behind, but the big winner from the start was Niklas Gronholm, up to third from the back row of the grid. Where there is a winner, there is also a loser. Sebastian Loeb dropped down to fourth and had to fight hard to get the undercut on Gronholm after they'd both taken their jokers. Out front, Kristoffersen's lead was unassailable, and as he crossed the line and took the flag, he set a new record of 8 victories in a year and headed to COTA with the championship in his sights. Kristoffersen has a 73-point lead in the standings. He needs to walk away from here with a 60-point lead to be crowned champion for a second time. To stop this, Mattias Ekstrom will need to cut the deficit by 14 points. A tall order when you consider Kristoffersen has an average score of just over 28 points per round this season. The maths and current form suggest he could wrap it up at the end of qualifying here in the USA. PSRX Volkswagen Sweden have a 69-point lead in the Teams Championship, but remember, both drivers score points here, so plenty to play for with 3 rounds to go. With a record-breaking lead in the championship, Johan Kristoffersen will want to seal the deal here in Texas. But when the finish line is within sight, the pressure can build. Not that Kristoffersen shows it.
The first time for me in US, so I mean, new experience, and then get to the new track will also be very fun. I haven't looked at the track yet, but it will be different, and there is always something special when the track is new for every driver which is here, so I'm really looking forward. I will try to do the same as I've done before, like I always do, but I think I will try to maybe be a little bit more safe to score those 17 points to make the championship clear already. For sure, I mean, there's no stress to make it clear already here in COTA, but you know, why not? For sure, there will mean a lot. I mean, to be one of 2 that have scored 2 world championships in Rallycross. And then if I win now, it's going to be the first Swede ever to win 2 FIA world titles.
It's not just World RX competing here this weekend. The new Americas Rallycross Championship, ARX, and its feeder series ARX2 are also on the race card. We will see the finest rallycross drivers in the States going head-to-head in the ARX final later and crown the first ever ARX champion. With such a rich and unique sporting and in particular motorsport heritage, what is it about rallycross that appeals to the American psyche?
Rallycross is perfect for a younger generation. It's perfect for millennials. You know, everything happens all at once. You get drag racing, crashing, sliding, jumping, the satisfaction of a finish all within like 3 minutes. And it's perfect for people that maybe aren't even motorsports fans to get into motorsport.
Well, I think Rallycross is a perfect sport for America. It's, you know, fast, action-packed, and you know, it's basically the UFC of racing. You know, there is contact, tempers flare, and it's all the good parts of motorsports.
It's the fast pace, it's the action, it's the sound, it's the It's the drivers up close, you know, you're right there. You can see the driver get out of the car. You see the sweat, you see the paint on the side of the car. It's just so intense, and it all happens so fast. And that's what the American people want. And that's what we're giving them. And that's Rallycross.
Drivers from both World RX and ARX teamed up for a special VIP trip to NASA. They were treated to an incredible behind-the-scenes tour, which gave them an insight into NASA's awe-inspiring technology.
Well, today has been pretty awesome, pretty rad here at NASA, seeing a bunch of different new stuff and new technologies I've never even believed was possible to make or do.
Today has been incredible. Like, we've watched some of these stuff and we've seen other incredible things. You know, motorsport is a technology-driven sport, but what we've seen here is a different planet.
With so much excitement surrounding World RX's first visit to the USA, good luck messages were coming in from around the globe and beyond.
Hi, I'm NASA astronaut Drew Feustel on board the International Space Station. I'd like to wish all of the drivers involved in World Rallycross a great weekend of racing, and may the best driver win. I also hope that you, the fans, whether you're at the Circuit of the Americas, watching at home on TV, or following on social media, enjoy what is sure to be an amazing race weekend. I'm planning to tune in myself from the ISS 250 miles above the Earth. Thanks for joining us up here. I hope to join you all in person next year.
As the drivers prepare to get underway, let's take a look at the challenge they face here in Texas. A brand new World Rallycross track built at the heart of COTA, the Circuit of the Americas. At 806 meters long, it's one of the shortest tracks on the calendar, 60% asphalt and 40% dirt. We ride on board with Ekstrom. He sits on the start line here, holding the revs up high. In a practice launch on this super grippy tarmac of the F1 circuit, he takes the standard line round the right hand of the joke lap, comes around the outside here on tar. You can see how slippery it was early on in practice. Watch for the merge on the left-hand side on the brakes, crossing the F1 track back into the left-hander on dirt here. Get the car straight, be patient on the throttle over the jump, pulling gears down towards the hairpin. Braking again early enough here not to lose grip. Round the right-hander on the gas, and watch Ekstrom now. He'll sweep across to the left-hand side using all that runoff area around 100 miles an hour as they hit the brakes into this long right-hander. Hold the nose in tight and then thread the eye of the needle through this last dirt section and bursting back onto the start-finish straight. An expectant crowd waited in the grandstands to see the World Rallycross cars in action for the very first time on American soil, and they weren't disappointed. Sebastian Loeb with clever tactics off the start, running the world champion Johan Kristoffersson out wide along with his teammate Timmy Hansen. Loeb would hold on for the win. Kristoffersson was P5. This was Andreas Backward running wide. There was only one blue groove line. That led to some contact as drivers tried to find ways past on this narrow section of circuit. Kevin Eriksson losing out, but not as badly as Gulan Shisharit. But Solberg was absolutely flying. He took the fastest time in Q1. On to Q2, and Johan Kristoffersson desperately needed a good run to make it up into the top 12. Unbelievably, he was 13th after Q1. He got the whole shot, got out in front, and it was lucky because behind him, Larson was spun round. Kristoffersson's time was incredible, 1.5 faster than Solberg had gone in Q1. Then it was time for his teammate to respond. Solberg getting the whole shot. Behind him, Sebastian Loeb. When Loeb merged later in the race, he took out Ekstrom and was given a 5-second penalty for that. Hansen too was fighting with the Audis. Here he is trying to come around the outside of Matthias Ekstrom backward, the main beneficiary of all that action. But nobody could touch Solberg, and he even managed to edge his teammate Kristoffersson by 0.6 of a second to win Q2 and be the overnight top qualifier.
Petter, it's been a while since I've said this to you, but you are top qualifier overnight, and you look very, very happy with your performance.
Of course, I'm happy. You know, I had a very tough year with my sickness, you know, and almost retired from the season, and coming back to do this speed and going so well now, it's very, very emotional. So I'm much better form, and it's fantastic to do this. I have the confidence again, and I can see better, and more energy. So I'm happy to come back again after the very difficult with the sickness this year, you know.
Well, it's great to see you back and feeling better.
Thank you.
Well, you can see there what that meant to Petter Solberg. 2 wins out of 2 sessions. He is ahead of Ekström, Backrud, Kevin Hansen, Johan Kristoffersen, Timmy Hansen, Sebastian Loeb, Niklas Gronholm, the top 8. Eriksson, Markland, Timosjanov and Shisharit are currently in, with Baumanis, Larsen and de Moustier looking for a spot in the semis.
Well, in the build-up to qualifying 3, everybody's getting ready. I'll just have a quick word with Matthias Ekström. Matthias, first of all, good morning. The conditions look very different to how you raced on them yesterday. What are you expecting from the circuit today?
It's very humid here, and I didn't do track work. Prefer to sleep a bit more. So what the guy said is gravel is a bit more moisty, so I expect slippery conditions on the gravel, and tarmac should be fine.
Now, yesterday there was an amount of contact, not that unusual for a rallycross series of races, but Timmy Hansen claimed that you and Andreas were the least fair drivers on the grid. I mean, how do you respond to that?
No, I really enjoy when people speak out, and I think that's fair enough. Everybody can have their opinion. If we agree, it's something else, but I think it's very often when you see those interviews from whoever driver is combination of adrenaline and disappointment, then you say stupid things, and I think that goes for myself and a lot of other drivers as well. So in the heat of the moment we say funny things, and I think that's also what the fans love when you make the interviews when the adrenaline is high, because now when you're a bit settled down, I'm sure you watch and you a little bit look on the situation in a different way maybe.
Certainly, considering that the stewards actually penalised Sebastian Loeb for hitting you rather than anything else.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how, when I look on it, I'm just smiling because I didn't do anything. Timmy drove into me in turn 1, and then I didn't even see him. And then Sebastian drove into me in the Joker merge and close to spun me out, and he got a penalty. So I'm pretty relaxed, and you know, like I say, I think it's funny when you make interviews when adrenaline and high, because you don't see the reality really. You see your own little world.
Thanks, Matthias. Good luck today. Okay, let's go and have a quick word with Gerland Shisharit, who's leaning against the Renault Megane with Andreas Backrud. Hey, Andreas. Good morning, Gerland. Just a quick chat with you just to see how you're finding this circuit and what you're expecting from the different conditions today.
Yeah, the track, to be honest, is not easy because it's like kind of some tiny corners, pretty slippery, especially this morning. So to be honest, it's not really the best track I ever drove, but you know, it's the same track for everyone, so it's like this. And what we expect, we start to get good speed with the car, so we try to be consistent more and more. So let's see what we can do.
And a quick word about Anton Markland, because he seems to have adapted to this car very quickly.
Yeah, Anton is a super good driver, you know, and I'm super happy to have him on board. He's doing the 3 races with us until the end of the years, and we'll see. He's helping a lot.
Okay. Good luck today. Thank you, Gerland. Merci.
Thank you.
Hello from Kota. My name is Andrew Coley. I'll be commentating the action for you this afternoon. Joining me on commentary duties is Dan Rook, a previous British Rallycross champion, with Neil Colt reporting from the paddock. Ahead of Q3, Solberg has taken both the sessions so far. Then it's Ekström, Backrud, Hansen, Kristoffersen, Timmy Hansen, Loeb and Gronholm. Eriksson, Markland, Timosjanov, Shisharit are currently in. Baumanis and Larsen looking for a spot in the semis. Okay, ready then for Q3 World Rallycross Championship Round 10, Kota in the USA. Anton Markland on the inside, debuting for GCK, 10th after Q2. Loeb's in 7th. Baumanis, look, needs to get inside that top 12, as do de Moustier and Larsen. So Larsen's gone for a pair of wets on one side. Loeb, Baumanis and de Moustier have gone for new slick tyres. Left side for Baumanis and Loeb, all round for de Moustier. Markland, unknown, or possibly used slicks on there. So we're bringing you the information as fast as we can. We've got spies down on the grid looking. Dan, what's your thoughts on tyre choice?
Interestingly there, seeing Larsen going for wets on the outside. Maybe he's looking for a better run out of the left-hand hairpin here to try and get a bit more grip. The tarmac is relatively dry, but the loose is down. Here
we go then. Good start by Loeb on the inside, manages to edge Markman, going to shut the door on him. Baumanis is going to go standard lap, Joker lap. And Loeb leads on the standard lap from Markman, so Markman follows him in. Yannis Baumanis really needs a good performance here. He's managed to get the lead of the 3 cars that have gone into the Joker, so a bit of damage for Larson as well from turn 1. A good start for Baumanis and Loeb, and yesterday this was the thing, drivers were saying they didn't really mind whether they Jokered first or not, but they wanted to be at the front of whichever train they were in.
Yeah, we can see the effects of how the train was making the guys at the back of that train lose position to the guys that had already got into the Joker on lap 1. So for Loeb and Baumanis here, they're both in the perfect positions. Obviously, Baumanis would like to close down the gap to Loeb. He's got a 3-second gap. He needs to bring that down if he wants to leapfrog Loeb, but he's going to put himself in a better position over guys like Larson and Bustier.
Baumanis losing a tenth of a second in each of those first 2 sectors. Was 3.0, then 0.1, 0.2, so it's going the wrong way for him. Loeb, as we would expect, doing a great job, and Anton Markman too, adapting to a completely different car, and now he's had different conditions thrown at him. I think he's doing a good job. You know, he has been a European Rallycross champion in supercar. Always think best in the family team, but there seems to be a nice atmosphere at GCK. Liam Doran's enjoying it, and hopefully Anton is as well.
Yeah, they've come in, they've using their hashtag, changing the rules, and they're really trying to mix it up. And we saw him struggling yesterday with some starts, but he managed to get away cleanly here. Maybe missed out to Loeb a little bit, but he's still tagged on to the back of him. He's only lost a tenth over that 1 lap, so putting in some good pace here.
If you've not been watching America's Rallycross this weekend, the track conditions changed unbelievably quickly. So we had 2 heat races in their supercar run, and the first race was 17 seconds faster than the second one. Bear in mind that the race duration here is only 2.5 minutes. Oh, look at Loeb. Loeb's quite deep on the way to the Joker, but a lovely straight exit. Carrying a huge amount of speed down the braking zone. Of course, that's what we did yesterday, and then actually got a bit too deep on the brakes. In fact, Baumanis gets Markman. Tidy move by Baumanis there. Had to react very quickly. Markman's out in the dirt. He's going to lose out to Larson. Poor old Anton makes a mistake right at the end.
So yeah, just saying there, when Loeb ran deeper, he was able to catch up to, I think it was extra.
Yeah, he got a penalty for it in the end.
So Markman there, he didn't have anybody to hang himself in, and he just got himself out in the loose and couldn't get the car stopped.
Loeb's going to take the checkered flag, but is this track going to develop? As I say, we've had rain this morning, and the difference in pace in the space of 5 minutes was a huge 17 seconds. Lap times now, 35s. He managed to get 1:34 in from Loeb. So 34.6 was his best lap time. Loeb, 2:27.5. So it's around between 2 to 4 seconds slower than it was yesterday. So there's not a huge amount. I would say the track's come back again, Dan, but just a little bit of drizzle will kill it for anyone who's next up. Pretty even start across the pack again. No, so not so good for Markman again, was it?
No, he's not too familiar with the start procedure. You know, it does vary a little bit in each of these cars, and where he has to find the biting point for the clutch may not be a help compared to what he was used to. But able to keep up the pace, and unfortunately here, just a little too deep on the brakes, and managed to tuck it up the inside there, classy move. And then Markman struggling to get away and losing out again to Larson, because you can just see how much thicker that dirt is on the outside of the hairpin there.
Yeah, got to find traction. Loeb was saying that yesterday in the dry. It's a little bit damp today. How much faster will this track get?
Sebastian, first race of qualifying 3. Give us an idea of what those conditions are like, because it looks slippery.
Yeah, I did a very good race. I think no mistake, good push. It was really good, but on another side, I don't know where I will be, because it's just drying, just the condition we don't want when we are in the first heat, the first group of the heat, and that's it. We had a penalty yesterday. We have to pay it, so hopefully the time will still be good. I just hope, because I did my best.
It was good. Well done. Thank you.
I think Loeb there, you know, he's kind of ruined the penalty now, but yesterday I don't believe he took extra out on purpose. He did what he did there, which is to go super hard off the Joker and deep on the brakes. Just unfortunately, he'd set his trajectory, and so had Ekstrom, and neither of them could change it. When you're on the limit, Dan, a passenger's not the right word, but you know what I mean by that.
Yeah, so when his car is on the limit of trying to stop, you know, you're sat there, you're going, please, please, please don't take anybody out, because you know you can't put any more input into the car, and you know that maybe you've just left your brake in that a tenth or two too late, and from that point onwards, you know, you are sort of a passenger. You're not obviously skating off the track, but you're not able to get the car stopped where you want it to be.
Can't change trajectory. He took out Ekstrom. The stewards gave him a 5-second penalty, and that dumped him into that first race. So Loeb possibly getting the worst of the conditions here. Is he going to dry out, and can these guys go faster? Q3 race 2 on a drying track. Matthias Ekstrom, Gulan Shisharit, Timmy Hansen, Kevin Eriksson and Timo Timosyanov. Look at that, Ekstrom up in second. Shisharit and Timosyanov down in 11th and 12th. Timosyanov has gone for 2 wets on one side of the car. Timmy Hansen has gone for 2 new slicks on the same side of the car. The other guys all apparently on used tyres. We know Kristoffersson, who's in the last race, has chosen to take slicks. We also know that Kristoffersson is superb in slippery conditions. But can these guys go quicker than they went in the first race? Sebastian Loeb is top of the timesheet at the moment. Okay, Marshall is ready to indicate to these guys that they can go. Thumbs up. And now they're going to get to feel out the grip levels on the way down to the first corner for the first time. Ekstrom and Hansen with a little bit of contact yesterday, and there's certainly a little bit of needle building between those two. Green light. Hansen is left absolutely standing on the line. Timmy Hansen with a terrible start. What's wrong with that car? Looks like he had to get it away on the starter motor. So Ekstrom through the first corner on the inside with Shisharit. Around the outside, Eriksson and Timosyanov. Timmy Hansen has pulled off from the commentary box. Timmy Hansen has pulled off and gone straight back to the paddock. So that is a disaster for Timmy Hansen in the second factory Peugeot. Timosyanov chasing down Eriksson.
Yeah, not perfect there for Timmy. No idea what's going on. We're going to have to obviously report that back to you a bit later on. But out in front, we've got Ekstrom. He's starting to pull a gap now on Shisharit and giving himself a lot of space to play with.
Unusual to see that. If they do the practice start, then, you know, normally you get to go. But there's something seriously wrong with Timmy Hansen's car. So he's in the fight, of course, for second. Or a little bit deep there, possibly from Shisharit. But he's hard on the gas through the throttle. He's going to try and come round and edge out Eriksson and Timosyanov. Nicely done. So Shisharit and Eriksson have managed to edge Timosyanov. Good move there from Shisharit's spotter to send him to the Joker straight away before these guys could bang in the lap times and get past.
Yeah, because they knew that Eriksson had clean air, and I'm sure that Shisharit's probably tagging on to the back of Ekstrom, but just dropping him a little bit, so getting in there to get the space. And I love that when you see them do the wide line in the Joker lap, it really sets them up for a perfect exit to carry full speed out. Thankfully for
Ekstrom goes now, looks through it now.
So yeah, so he's just got a nice straight line out. He's trying not to run onto the paint too much, because that line's going to be even slippier than the normal.
And that's what we saw Markland do, isn't it? Get on the paint just a little bit, and then when he got on the brakes, just slid a little bit further into the zone. But look how much Ekstrom has edged these guys by 2.5 seconds for the 2016 World Rallycross champion. Moving across to the left-hand side, he's using the full width. We've seen some people go offline here and just use the width of the Grand Prix track, and that's possibly to do with the surface difference, Dan?
Yeah, maybe. Obviously, the F1 guys are using the part on the inside of the rumble strips there, the curbs, so there may be a bit more grip put down there, but obviously we've got a lot of guys, our guys, going onto the outside there, so trying to open up that the last corner of the end of the straight there to get a smoother line.
So watch for Ekstrom here, and you see what Dan was talking about. Shisharit and Eriksson down. Target time 2:27.567. That is low. Here's Ekstrom all the way out to the edge of the run. Ferrier comes in across the outside of the F1 curbs, and then back onto the dirt section to relink into the stadium. Loeb's time not looking too bad. I think Ekstrom's going to beat him. He does. 1.8, I think that is. It is indeed. So 1.8 seconds faster. That's about 4/10 a lap. Of course, there's one race still to come, so isn't going to dry out enough. Ekstrom, what did he do? 2:34.6 and a 34.5. So the actual lap pace is pretty similar. Ekstrom may be doing a better job in the Joker lap than Loeb did, because he managed to edge him by a little bit. He's only edged him by a couple of tenths here and there. There you go. Loeb manages to hold himself in P2. So Ekstrom leads Q3 at the moment. Gulan Shisharit is up into third. Balmanis in fourth. And those guys were in 12th and 13th place. So great job by them. There's Hansen. He leaves the line, Dan, but, you know, he knew about that, I think, before the launch, maybe.
Yeah, it didn't look like he even, you know, set the car up to go off the line. Didn't see any wheel spin. He just drove off calmly and unfortunately just drove straight into the pits.
So maybe broke it during the pre-launch, not sure. This was Ekstrom leading then from Ericsson and Tim Asianov, you ride on board, but you can see there them leaving the F1 track, and here's Ekstrom staying off the paint. Dan, you were saying on the brake to get it turned in.
Yeah, he was able to keep it a bit tighter there compared to some of the other guys we've seen come through there. Probably like St. Markland's unfortunately running over from touching that paintwork, but Ekstrom able to get the car stopped and turned in.
Dominated that race, nearly 2 seconds quicker than Sebastian's time. How much of that do you think is down to the drying track?
So, didn't hear your question, but...
How much of the quicker time than Sebastian is it down to the drying track?
No, it's track evolution. Sebastian is a great driver and he did nothing wrong, and I think I did a clean run, but track evolution is so big when you have a drying track, so I'm pretty sure the other guys will go even faster, but that's the name of the game. We all had the chance yesterday to do a better job, and yeah, just take it from here.
Yeah, it was good anyway, get a race win.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Right, let's take a look at the grid then for the final race of Q3. The track is still drying. On the inside, Solberg, next to him, Kristoffersson, Kevin Hansen, Backrud, Niklas Gronholm. Here we go. New tyres for Backrud and Kevin Hansen on the outside. Solberg first, having won both the sessions. Kristoffersson needs to get up into the top four to at least be on the front row. If he can be on the front row, make a big difference to him. 1 gold star on the glove. Will it be 2 by the end of this weekend? Can he beat his teammate here? What have they decided on strategy? Might he go from slot 2 and push everybody wide? That, of course, depends who's got their start RPM right. Oh, Backward's left on the lines of Backward stall. Kevin Hansen going to shut the door on Kristoffersson. Kristoffersson's going to go on the brakes, I think, follow his teammate to the standard lap. Gronholm, though, up the inside of them both. Niklas Gronholm's going to manage to edge Kristoffersson on the brakes down into turn 2, so Gronholm's on the inside. Kristoffersson trying to carry it around. Gronholm now having a look up the inside of Petter Solberg. Kristoffersson's on the inside down towards the braking zone and finally decides to slot in.
Kristoffersson had to be super careful there. You know, he had Gronholm in on the grippy line, and it could have been so easy for Kristoffersson to lose his braking point and then miss out to Kevin and just go off the Joker lap. So perfect to, you know, maybe he lost track position, but he's not lost too much time.
No, a great job, Niklas Gronholm. I'm so impressed with Niklas this year. Just the improvement you've seen, Dan. You know, as a young driver yourself, it's hard to make big steps, and he's made huge steps.
Yeah, he's done very, very well this season. Obviously, the statistics show he's the most improved driver so far this year, and I'm surprised he even managed to find grip at turn 1.
Kristoffersson gave a little nudge on the inside there, and Gronholm doing well to hold on. So Johann's going to lose a bit of time here, but if the track is drying, oh, Johann have a look up the inside, trying to find the traction on the exit. Can't get enough, though. Gronholm's going to continue to lead him at this point. Behind Backrud is in front of Hansen, and that, of course, is because Backrud went standard lap and Kevin Hansen went Joker on lap 1. So Kevin, the only driver to Joker so far. I wonder if Kristoffersson might go. He won't want to end up behind the others. And we've seen Gronholm to the Joker. So Gronholm goes Joker. That's trying to cover up Kevin Hansen, maybe behind. Niklas Gronholm, look at the merge here. Or Kevin's going to get him on the undercut. Kevin trying to have a look up the inside, but Gronholm doing well. Niklas is pushing harder. He's going to try and get back inside. So, okay, so that's interesting. That's Balmanis now. We've seen do that, and now Kevin Hansen too. So people are starting to find a way through down at that merge, even though they're in the outside position. There's a way to undercut.
So yeah, we can see starting to see some really good merges here, and obviously on the way out of the Joker lap, it's quite tight compared to when you're on the standard lap. So these guys really have to try and check up to make sure they can get it turned in.
Yeah, got to hold that inside line. Fastest lap of the day, Johann Kristoffersson finally released from behind Niklas Gronholm. You can see what these two Volkswagen Polos can do. Solberg keeps it tidy on the brakes. They're a second between the two of them. Johann chasing him down. Lap times, what are they at? 34s we're doing. So, yeah, it's not as fast. This is not as fast as they were going in the previous race. Target time, regardless, is at the bottom of your screen, 2:25.717. That is Ekstrom's time. Is Ekstrom going to take this session? Solberg so close, touching the tyres. I think checker flag falls. When does the clock stop? Not enough. 2:26.5. Solberg won both sessions yesterday, but on a drying track today, not able to capitalise. That is a great job by Matthias Ekstrom there. He managed to beat everybody in his race by a pretty significant margin. I think that tells you now, when you see the times, just what a drive that was from Ekstrom. Solberg takes this one from Kristoffersson. Kristoffersson was super fast when he was released. Did a very, very quick lap time on lap 3, fastest lap of the day, but because of that hold-up behind Gronholm, not enough. Gronholm, look, he's down in 8th, but it is Matthias Ekstrom who wins Q3. So Backward, look, not enough RPM.
Yeah, you see the car just bogs and looks like he has to get back on the starter to get going again, so unfortunately not the start for him. Interestingly here, Johann's hanging it just out, giving his teammates some room, but Gronholm finding some room somehow just to get it up the inside of him.
This was strong from Gronholm, wasn't it? Really strong here. Look, he even gives Solberg a little nudge, and Kristoffersson out on the dirt there, can't get the traction to get inside him again.
Yeah, he was quite aggressive there, but I'd say he's pretty fair as well. You know, these guys know they have to sort of make their own windows to make the passes.
And that's making a
fine example of that one. So
made the window and fitted it. That was it. Yes, done. So that was Hansen getting through the gap. Kristoffersson, I say, was very, very quick once he was released. So would he have been able to take the fastest time in this one? Doesn't matter. He wasn't able to. On this occasion, the session goes to Ekstrom.
Petter, it's a great race win, but there's a lot of smoke in the car. What's going on?
The first lap was very bad. You know, in turn number 3, I was pushed two times properly, and the smoke the first lap, it was really difficult to see. So I took quite calm because I'm afraid of the puncture like I had in front. So by the end of the day, it was a good finish anyway. So I'm pleased with that, actually. You know.
Let's go and get this car sorted out.
Sorry?
Get the car sorted out. Stop the smoke.
Yeah, we will fix it now.
Thank you.
Petter Solberg still the top qualifier. Matthias Ekstrom with that win holds on to his second place. Then it's Kristoffersson, Hansen, Loeb. Bakkerud was P3 overnight, drops down to P6. Gronholm and Kevin Eriksson top 8. One session to go. This is the important part. Schischrit, Hansen, Anton Markland and Yannis Balmanis. Hansen down in P10. Actually, I'm surprised he didn't go further down than that with a retirement in Q3. It's Timosyanov, Larsen and Demoustier who want to fight their way in. Look at Timmer, look. He's only 1 point off the back of Balmanis and 2 off the back of Markland. All to play for. Matthias Ekstrom coming through the tricky gravel section here. Dan Rook taking a look at some of these super slow-mos for us. This was when the track was quite green during free practice, and all the drivers learning their way around it.
Yeah, so these guys, their first time visit here to Kota, and just learning the limits. There's some tight spots here on this track and some tricky lines to get right. So yeah, they did a good job in practice. We've seen some impressive racing so far.
That was the rotation of Ekstrom trying to turn his way in towards turn 1. So coming through, there's that narrow gravel section. They're really committed through there, but then they have to anchor up and get the car rotated around to the right through that long right-hander in turn 1. And that's regardless of whether they're going Joker or standard lap. The car's quite heavily loaded as they exit this section here.
Yeah, I love this bit. As you see, as Kevin comes into shot here, you see him, he almost be tapping his foot on the left foot brake to get the turning of the car, and then short squirt on the throttle, and then he'll be getting back on the brakes again. The car, he's really loading the car up as he comes through. So almost a blind entry into turn 1 here, and you see he's anchored on the brakes already, and then lifting up or coming off the brakes just as he rolls into the corner to keep the momentum of the car running smoothly.
Wheel spin there, you can see, and I say the track has gone blue groove a little more as the weekend has gone on, but this is the jump with Johan Kristoffersson. So the jump slightly reprofiled to give it a longer landing, and you can see the Polo just lands it so well, doesn't it?
Yeah, the Polo really jumps really well, and you know, you can see some of the slightly longer cars are maybe landing a bit nose heavy, and so Johan, you can see sticking to the middle of the track there where all the other guys have been going. You can see the line is slightly different. That's where the grip is for these guys. That's where they need to be to stop.
Double right here. It's really a single hairpin, but we've seen a few drivers squaring it off. See Kristoffersson here allowing the car to run wide, but look at this. When he gets to the exit down, all 4 wheels are straight.
Yeah, so you've got to be super patient on these hairpins. You've got to be waiting to put your foot on the throttle to get the best drive out of the corner. If these guys light it up too early, they're going to be running too wide and losing time.
Sebastian Loeb through the same section of track in the Peugeot. Lands the 208 nicely, back on the throttle, and then again judging that braking zone to try and get the car stopped and turned in at the hairpin.
Yeah, it's not the easiest place to stop here. It's you know, we've said that it's very tight, narrow places here, and to get the car stopped and to carry the momentum through these tight hairpins, you might see these guys apply a little bit of a handbrake on the way in to get the rotation, but they don't want they want as minimum sliding as possible. So you can see Loeb here. He's not on the handbrake. The rear wheels are rotating, and he's just driving through the corner now. Once he's got his rotation, and out the corner he goes for a perfect exit.
Final round of qualifying still to come here at the Circuit of the Americas, and Solberg is sitting in the top qualifier spot from Matthias Ekstrom. Christophersen up to third. Hansen, Lowe, Backerud, Gronholm and Kevin Eriksson are your top 8. Schischeret, Hansen, Markland and Baumanis just inside, but look, Timosjanov is super close. Okay, here's the lineup for the first race of the final qualifying session at round 10 of the FIA World Rallycross Championship, Rallycross of USA. Top left of your screen. First time we're here at the Circuit of the Americas, COTA, Austin, Texas. Robin Larson on the inside, Anton Markland, look at them, 14th and 11th. Larson's having an absolutely shocking middle part of the season. 13th for Timosjanov, really wants to try and get 12th, clearly. And it's Demoustier and Hansen. Now, Hansen's 10th, having retired from Q3 pretty much, well, directly off the line. He turned left into the paddock. Needs a good result here, want that Peugeot further up the grid. It's very hard to pass at COTA. Marshall in the middle gets the thumbs up from race control on his radio. You can see our cameraman in the background there. Luckily, he's wearing cans, because otherwise he'd have to have his fingers in his ears, particularly behind Timosjanov, one of the loudest anti-lags in this entire championship. Unleashing that power down to the first corner. Timosjanov looked like he got a good start, but then maybe had to clutch kick halfway up first gear into the first corner. Larson goes tight on the inside. Timosjanov trying to cut around the outside of Markland. Joker lap, Timmy Hansen with Demoustier in behind him. So Timmy's managed to get the better of Demoustier, and that was absolutely crucial for him, Dan.
So yeah, Timmy had a really good start there, and I don't know if you noticed, but he kept his car really quite wide. He left the car's width from the apex as well to make sure he didn't get wiped out when he got track position. And now he's going to make the most of these guys. Oh, look, you can see them all bunching up, holding each other up, and Timmy's straight on the back of Timosjanov already.
So Timmy could really do with Larson Joker in early, because if these guys get into the train behind him, in fact, he could do with any of them Joker in early, because he's literally right there. Look at this, he's on the back of Timosjanov already. Timosjanov goes, but perfect for Hansen.
So yeah, perfect for him. He's been released. He can now chase down Markland, but to be honest, it already looks like he's got the gap to these guys. You can see how much of an effect these tight corners have on them. They all back up, and they all have to brake that tiny bit earlier than they want to get around the corner, and it all plays into the hands of Timmy.
Constantina effect on board with Timmy Hansen now. Watch this. This is how fast he pulled gears in the supercar. Incredible. Absolutely brilliant down the back straight. Around 100 miles an hour, Dan, you were saying when you were working here earlier this year.
Yeah, and it's going to be an even faster entry into the corner than when I was here last time, because they've opened up the track limit rule, so we can carry more speed into the corner at the bottom of the straight. So we see Markland go to the Joker now.
This is Tim for Timmy Hansen. That could not have played out better. Timosjanov went, Markland went. Absolutely ideal. Yeah, that's the driver's dream, isn't it? When people peel off like that in order.
They're just handing it to him on a plate here. He's not even having to engage in any battles to try and make up time that he may be losing the height to people. So do you see there? He actually made that corner into a double apex. Went quite wide in the central corner, but had a perfect straight line out of it. So really precise here from Timmy, and straight on the back of Larson. Now Larson's going to go for the Joker on this lap, the final lap now. So Timmy's going to be released, and he can really show what he can do now on this last lap.
Larson typically sideways around the outside of the Joker lap, trying to get in front of Markland. I think he's going to. That's a better run, and Larson keeps it tight enough not to allow Markland up the inside. Well done by Robin. Timmy Hansen released to try and set a fantastic time. What can he do here? Through the right-hander, needs to move up that grid desperately, all the way out to the outside. This is where those track limits rules have changed here. Backing the car in smoothly on the gas, and then thread it through this narrow section. Checker flag for Timmy Hansen. Target time for everybody else is 2:26.954.
So Timmy actually went half a second faster on that final lap just from having clear air. So maybe Timmy could have, gone a bit faster in this session. We know the track's been clearing up through the whole day, so it'd be interesting to see what the guys can do later on in the day.
Hansen takes it 2:26.9 from Larson, Markland, Timosjanov and Demoustier. Don't think the track will develop if they get themselves some clean air, which Timmy kind of had, but maybe not the perfect scenario. Can they go quicker? This was at the start, so watch for Timmy Hansen. Dan, you were saying he left enough room on the inside in case anything happened.
Yeah, he gave himself quite a big space, and you can see there he's left Demoustier some room as we ride on board with Timosjanov there. But so he had a clear run through and was able to just jump straight on the back of the train. He's already on the bumper of Timosjanov by turn 2 here. So
yeah, here we are on board with Timmy. Look, oh, Timmy, in fact, into the back of Markland there, wasn't he?
So yeah, lost a bit of time there. That wouldn't have been ideal for him.
Does look good in the Peugeot, doesn't he? The Peugeot looking really, really strong. And there, oh, Timmy right on the grass. My goodness me, every 100th of a second at the end there.
Timmy, what you needed then was a clean race and a quick race, and it looks like that's what you got.
Yeah, I lost a bit of time in the beginning. Yeah, lost a bit of time in the beginning when I had to run behind them. But it is what it is. Starting from P5, it's not much to do. My last lap was good. It was my only free one. At least I think we've done enough to be in the semi. Little while ago, it didn't look good at all. Engine was broken already this morning. Mechanics made a fantastic job to change the engine between Q3 and Q4. It's a short time, and to change an engine in a car, even for race mechanics, is a big, big job. They made it in less than 1 hour.
Kudos to them and well done to you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Race 2, all lined up for the final qualifying session. On the inside, Kevin Hansen. Next to him, Yannis Palmanis. Palmanis look on the cusp. He's in 12th. Everybody else looking pretty safe. Gronholm in 7th. Ericsson in 8th. Backward in 6th. Backward look has gone for all new boots. Kevin Hansen a pair. Yannis Palmanis just the one. Kevin Hansen up in P4. Fantastic performance by him. Ahead of his Peugeot teammates, behind just the 2 Volkswagens. And the Audi of Ekstrom coming into this one. Of course, we're going to see those in the last race of Q4. Thumbs up, launch time. Here we go. That is a super, super long hold there. I'm surprised everyone got away. Brilliant start by Kevin Hansen. Palmanis, they're going to have to give best in. Little nudge into the rear of Kevin Hansen on the way down. Backward gets the whole shot of the 3 cars that gone into the joke lap. Ericsson up the inside of Gronholm. Gronholm runs the car wide, has to avoid Ericsson. That's going to cost him. So Gronholm ends up down in P5. Your 2 train leaders, Kevin Hansen on the standard lap, Andreas Backward on the Joker.
Yeah, Gronholm looked like he had made a bit of a late decision there to go to the Joker. He had Ericsson closing in on him, and when he made his move, there was contact made between them, which you know, was carrying on all the way through that Joker lap, so some time lost for those guys.
Well, Manis chasing Kevin Hansen. Yannis, so he wanted to hold on to that position in the semi-finals. You know, he could do well to follow Kevin, couldn't he? I wonder if you might want to respond. It looks like Backward's going to get him, doesn't it? Now the spotter really needs to look back at the gap to Ericsson and Gronholm and think about responding to them if they want Palmanis to get more points and hold on to that place in the semi.
Yeah, exactly. And we've just seen Backward take out 3 attempts from Kevin Hansen's lead. He's closed right up at the back of these guys, but
for safety as well, because you know Backward's a hard charger here, and you know that Palmanis isn't going to challenge him in terms of qualifying position. You might as well send Yannis to be safe here and get him out of the way of Andreas, because Andreas will try at the hairpin, and then you've done below the time anyway.
Yeah, you don't want to get caught in the battle, and need to make sure you can get a clean run. And he stayed out there, so a bit of a surprise here.
Yeah, interesting. The gap back look is 2.9 to Ericsson, so he was safe for Ericsson, and they know Backward's going to get him, so you just kind of put yourself in the middle of a fight. But there you go. That, you know, they've got to make these decisions on the fly. Dan, you've done spotting yourself.
Yeah, you've got to literally be on top of it. And with it being such a short track here as well, you don't get much time to think between each lap, so you need to really be on the ball with your spotting here.
Dan Rook, the man who's done every job in the paddock.
I've just seen out of the commentary position, we've got a yellow flag at the last hairpin, so it looks like we've lost Kevin Ericsson, so that'll be helpful for Palmanis. And Gronholm maybe dropped back a bit as well, so...
Palmanis in the Joker with Kevin Hansen. Andreas Backward has got them both. Palmanis is going to slot in just in front of Gronholm, so something happened between Ericsson and Gronholm. Kevin Ericsson is still circulating. He crosses the start-finish line, while Backward is on his last lap. So Backward out the back part of the track. Target time of Timmy Hansen is 2:26.954, bottom right of your screen. Can Backward challenge that? How far up the order will it move him? Sends the Audi through to take the flag all the way out. Oh, he uses a bit of grass as well. These guys are really, really trying hard, and he's gone a second faster. Backward has gone a second faster, 2:25.9. Impressive lap times, Dan.
Yeah, so Backward, when he had clear air, just the same as Timmy in his last lap, he managed to go 2 tenths up on Timmy's fast lap. So yeah, fast lap of the day so far for Backward. It'll be interesting to see what happens in this final race.
Well, indeed, good job, Andreas Backward. Fastest lap of the day. As the track developer of Audi found something.
You just see inside the car there, he's punching his fist, he's loving it. Hand out the window, he's happy with that run.
We saw a hand out the window earlier on ARX. If you haven't seen it, have a look online. It's going to be a gift, soon enough, I'm sure. Andreas Backward takes it from Kevin Hansen, Yannis Palmanis, Niklas Gronholm, and Kevin Eriksson. There's where they slot in Timmy Hansen, Kevin Hansen right up there. Good result for Baumanis. That could well cement his place in the semi-finals. He was in P12. The lowest he'll be in this one is P9 because there are 5 cars still to come. 225.9 by Andreas Backrud is an impressive target. So Backrud on the outside here. Eriksson next to him. Look, contact between the Backrud moving across to try and shut the door, taking off the front right wing of Eriksson. Eriksson getting up the inside of Gronholm and just giving Gronholm a little push wide, which is completely fair. And then he managed to close down on the guys in front. So I was a little surprised. I wonder if Baumanis might have... Oh, there you go. So Eriksson over-rotated the car down.
So yeah, he maybe
no, he's broken it.
Yeah, he's lost the front drive shaft there. So it looks like he's gone to rear-wheel drive. So bad luck there for Eriksson.
Rear-wheel drive's fun, isn't it? But 600 horsepower is just a little bit over the top for that. So didn't quite work out. It did work out for Backrud, fastest lap of the day, and he is at the minute at the top of the standings in Q3. 4.
Andreas, you look both happy and relieved. That was a great race, and it looks like it's exactly what you needed.
Yeah, it was. To be honest, you know, I've been on the outside line all weekend, like 5th, 4th, and now 5th. After stalling in Q3, it was a long way down, but nice to get back on. I really feel we have the power and the chance to win this weekend. Like, the speed is there, it's been there from the first practice. So nice to get a heat win again, feeling good. So yeah, keep on smiling, pushing hard for the final. Hopefully we get there, you know. The main goal is to spray champagne. So.
Well, quickest so far and fastest lap of the day, so good job.
Time then for the final race of qualifying here at the Circuit of the Americas in the USA, Austin, Texas to be precise. Matthias Ekström second after Q3, Solberg first after Q3, Kristoffersson third after Q3. He wants to be in front of Ekström, Loeb and Schischrit on the outside, nobody taking new tyres. If Ekström were to retire and come P15, if Kristoffersson was first or second overall, he could take the title. It is a very long shot. If Ekström has a clean race, it's going to go to the semi-finals. Whatever happens, these are 5 of the fastest rallycross drivers in the world about to do battle down towards a first corner joker lap. We've seen some brilliant action so far this weekend. You're about to see a little bit more. Thumbs up from the marshal. Will Kristoffersson and Solberg split the strategy? Ekström, of course, has got a bit of history with Solberg as well. Ekström's been in the tyres in turn 1 thanks to Solberg once this year. Sorry, the other way round, Solberg thanks to Ekström. I wonder if he can return the favour here. Green light, good start by Solberg and Kristoffersson in the middle of the grid, but Ekström's up the inside of both of them. Ekström's surely going to hold on for turn 1. Kristoffersson trying to go around towards the joker lap. Schischrit having a look up the inside. Schischrit's managed to get past Sebastian Loeb, but Kristoffersson leads the 3 cars that have gone joker. Ekström and Solberg were sensible in turn 1. It's Sebastian Loeb who's at the back of this pack and will want to try and find a way past Goulet.
Good move there by Kristoffersson and the VW team to split the strategy and you know, give each other a bit of room to play around in. Kristoffersson's now got clear air. He's going to be wanting to chase down the guys in front, but you know, we've seen Ekström's speed at this track. He didn't have such a fast track for him in Q3, but yet he was still able to pump in the fastest time. So
yeah, it was a brilliant drive by him, a patient drive in tricky conditions. Yeah, on a developing track. He wasn't in the final race. Good job by Ekström. Solberg's all over the back of him here, so Solberg's losing out, and that's going to play into Kristoffersson's hands. He's 1.8 off the lead, and that, Dan, is roughly what the joker lap is here.
Yeah, so if we were to see Ekström going now, it would be a very close merge, and of course, Kristoffersson doesn't look like he's got too much pressure from behind either, so he's able to just drive his own lines, whereas Ekström's got Solberg all over the back of him, so pressure being applied.
See there the PSRX Volkswagen Sweden team watching the monitors in their paddock area, keen to see what happens. Solberg goes joker. This is to try and cover off the guys who've jokered already. Kristoffersson's going to get him. Solberg isn't going to do anything silly there. Schischrit has to look up the inside, but Petr with that incredible car control holds on to that despite the fact he looked wild on the brakes. So that releases Kristoffersson up, but at the minute it's Ekström who is the only man who stands between him and the title. So it's only a matter of points, but they will not celebrate until they get it mathematically. And Ekström, the 1.8 second lead, could go now, couldn't he, and risk it at the merge.
Yeah, it's going to be very close.
He does. Ekström's gone joker from the commentary position. Ekström's gone joker. Watching for Kristoffersson on the inside now. Will there be contact between them? Ekström's going to try, but Kristoffersson's going to shut the door. Ekström has to look up the inside. Kristoffersson is aware of that, so he's going to get him here. But if Ekström finishes where he is, right behind him, I say the standings are going to go right through to the end of today. There are the team. The phones are out, look, they're all recording the moment. Good drive by Johan. Checkered flag falls when he crosses the line ahead of Ekstrom. 2:24.7, it's enough. So Kristoffersson has taken Q4. Team applaud. As I say, it won't be enough to out-qualify Ekstrom, and that means he's going to have to gather up just a couple more championship points to take the title. As the cars roll back to the paddock, here is the result. Johan Kristoffersson 2:24.7, but Matthias Ekstrom right behind him, 2:25.4. Solberg, Loeb, Milan Šišerit. Here's where they go overall. So Ekstrom beating his teammate Bakkerud by half a second, but it is Kristoffersson who takes Q4. The world champion, as always, fighting back. He's had a bad day one before, and this weekend he's straight back up to the top of the standings, Q3 and Q4, and that's going to help him out in terms of qualifying, get him up at the front of the semi-finals. He only needs to be at the back of the semi-finals to take his second world championship, but we know Johan will want to do it in style. So Solberg, Kristoffersson off the line. Dan split the strategy straight away. Actually, Kristoffersson didn't get the greatest start, did he? If you watch from Ekstrom, you might see them fly past.
Yeah, Kristoffersson having to look like he's having to dip on the clutch again there. So not getting the best run, but still able to make it work on the split here with his teammate. But so yeah, fantastic drive from Gerland Šišerit, who's actually sticking with these guys. He's going to be happy about that, beating his fellow countryman Loeb as well to the line. So good drive by him in the GCK machine.
I thought he was going to look under the inside of Solberg, but I think Solberg's spotters were wise and managed to keep him tight up the inside. So Solberg held on to that position, but it was Kristoffersson who won the session.
Johan, a very good time and a very good race, but that isn't the championship moment. Matthias is not going to let you get this easily.
No, but it's a little bit late to start to struggle now. But yeah, good heat. Car felt good. Launch was not the best, but I managed to squeeze Sebastian in the Joker lap. And from there on, I felt strong already in Q2 yesterday and Q3 today. So car is there when I really need to push. It's underneath me, so I'm looking forward for the semi-final.
So wait, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, Johan just doing what he needs to do. There you go. Matthias Ekstrom manages to hold on to Q2. Kristoffersson in Q3. Look, Solberg with the TQ. Top qualifier for Peter Solberg. Johan will be on the front row. Look, with him in semi-final one. In fact, Bakkerud's going to be on the front row with Ekstrom. So we've got a Volkswagen front row in semi-final one and an Audi front row in semi-final two. Then it's Kevin Hansen, Sebastian Loeb, Timmy Hansen, all three Peugeots there. Niklas Gronholm, P8 again, brilliant by the unfin. Gerland Šišerit, Kevin Eriksson, Yannis Baumanis and Anton Markland. So both of the GCK machines are in. Baumanis moves up to 11th, Markland holding on to 12th. Timosyanov, Larsen and Moustier will take no further part this weekend. Fantastic stuff so far then from round 10 of the FIA World Rallycross Championship. The first time this series has come across the United States of America. Been treated to some different track conditions, some decent racing. And of course, we've still got to crown a world champion. There's a man who's been crowned a world champion 9 times. Sebastian Loeb sitting under the shade of his teammate Timmy Hansen's car, talking to Gerland Šišerit. It is hot, hot, hot here as we approach the final stages of this event. Neil Cole's down in the pre-grid.
Andreas, this is the calm before the storm, although the storms were yesterday. I mean, we have got clear blue skies and it is hot now. I mean, how does that affect racing?
It is hot, and I mean, like, I think we have around 70, 75 degrees inside the car when we're racing, especially when you cross the finish line. You're like, oh, what's happening, you know? You don't feel anything before you cross the finish line, so that's a good thing. But out here, you have 1 lap to cruise down over the finish line and into the paddock again, so that's pretty warm. But luckily, we at Audi have great fans. We don't have air conditioning now, but it's good.
Yeah, fans all over the world as well, of a different kind. You're alongside Team Boss, front row of semi-final 2. First of all, do you have a specific strategy to deal with that?
Well, I mean, both myself and Johan is in the same position here. You know, we have the guy that owns the team, we have the team boss, we have the first driver kind of inside us. So I mean, like, we need to be gentlemen out here, let them do their thing, and hopefully I can go and do my thing. Of course, if I have the start, I will go in and do the first turn, but I see the odds for that pretty small. I think it's been very equal starts here. What we need to what you guys need to know is that the start line here on in Circuit d'America is very, very grippy. So I think it's never been this equal between all the cars in the championship so far, which provides good racing. Also, the Joker is in the first corner, so you can choose to kind of your tactic already done. The hard thing is that if you do go to the Joker, it's easy to catch up with the traffic from the leading group.
Wow, great insight. Thanks, Andreas.
Thank you.
Yeah, we've seen some really, really even starts here with this super grippy F1 style tarmac across the full width of the grid. Some of the only rallycross tracks, as in a purpose-built rallycross track, the surface wouldn't be quite so consistent, Dan.
No, they've done a good job here at keeping the surface quite consistent through all the loose sections. You know, we're not seeing any big pits rutting up or anything like that. So they've done a fantastic job there.
Interesting what Backer was saying as well about Joker and catching up to the pack. We're going to see a little bit of dust. Probably we've seen a little bit this afternoon. America's Rallycross finishing just before you guys joined us. Some of you, I'm sure, were watching America's Rallycross online and World Rallycross on your local broadcaster. Double Rallycross. That's what we like to see. Umbrellas are up. They were up yesterday because it was absolutely torrential rain. They're up today because it is hot, and it is really hot. So it's a beautiful day. We did have thunderstorms predicted. 29 degrees Celsius, 34.4 degrees Celsius track temperature. Umbrellas over the Audis, not quite so techers as the full foil hood which is on the Peugeots, is it?
No, not quite, but interesting to hear what Backward was saying about how it gets to roughly 70-75 degrees in the car. You know, that is hot. And, you know, these guys aren't in t-shirt and shorts either. You know, they're in full race suit, full fireproof helmet, everything. So they really got to try and keep it cool.
Like sitting in a sauna basically, but ready to go skiing, and then about to chuck it into a very physical first corner. So it's going to be extremely hard work for these guys this afternoon. Swedish fans up at the back of the grandstand. They'll be supporting the Swedes, possibly some Norwegians too. Neil Cole's with a Norwegian now. He's got Solberg.
So Petter Solberg getting ready to go out and racing. We'll just have a final word with you. It's great to see the massive return to form for you this weekend. Front row alongside Johan. What's going to happen in the semi-final?
Well, we will see. We have to push on quite hard. You know, Johan is on top form, and if you're going to keep the position, we have to be on the case. You know, and of course he's looking good for the championship, but I need a lot of points for my championship for the second place. But he will not hold back, so I have to push.
Okay, good luck, thank you.
Solberg in the fight for second in the series. Somebody who I think has dropped out of that fight, unfortunately, is Timmy Hansen. Engine change today will cost him another 15 championship points. We believe he mentioned it himself. Ghislaine climbing into the car. Looking forward to this. Eager anticipation. Dan, you ready for this?
Yeah, I'm more than ready.
Been a long weekend. We're going to crown a world champion. First of all, we're going to go and talk to Neil Cole, though. He's with the son of a world champion. He's with Niklas Gronholm. Another brilliant performance from him this weekend.
Well, Niklas, you're one of the tallest drivers in the championship, but luckily you've come down to my level. just sitting at the back of the car, super chilled, but this is a sign of just how much improved you are this season, is that you're on the second row of semi-final 2. That's a good result so far.
It's okay. Could be better, for sure. It's been a difficult week, and it's been a lot of up and down. Yeah, especially today it's been a bit tricky, but let's see what we can do. We have good tires left for the semi-final, and yeah, hoping to grab a spot in the final again.
But this car seems to handle this circuit particularly well, because some of the sort of bigger, wider cars struggle a little bit because it's so tricky and technical.
Yeah, it's quite okay. I think it's steering nicely and so on. We've been doing some setup changes, but not a lot less than usual. So yeah, it suits this track pretty well. So yeah, looking forward to get going.
Okay, good luck. Thank you.
Thanks.
Super calm as always, Niklas Gronholm. He's very entertaining. He goes into finish mode when you put the camera on him, but he's really very funny, and I like him. He comes up with some classics, he really does. Backer Blue fan club up in the grandstands, along with a load of Americans who are about to be introduced to semi-finals and final time for the FIA World Rallycross Championship. Hello from Austin, Texas in the USA. That is the city in the distance. We are at the track in the foreground, the famous Circuit of the Americas, COTA. The first time the World Rallycross Championships come across the Atlantic and performed here in front of these fantastic American fans who love their action sports, and they've been provided with action all weekend long. They've had America's Rallycross as well. We've crowned an ARX2 champion and an America's Rallycross champion for the first time here today, and we're very, very likely to be crowning a double FIA World Rallycross champion this afternoon too. Champions Day from Texas. My name's Andrew Coley. Alongside me is Dan Rook, the co-commentator for this weekend. Previous British Rallycross champion, runner-up in RX2 last year. Neil Cole reporting from the paddock and the pre-grid as always. So if you've missed all the action so far, where have you been? It's all been online. You need to start watching the action all weekend long, because then you have a great idea of what's going to happen coming into the semi-finals and the final. There are your top 16. Remember, they all get championship points. 15 drivers taking the flyaway event here over in the United States. Petter Solberg, top qualifier. Very emotional yesterday. He's back on form. He's feeling better. He's in the mix. Ekstrom P2, Kristoffersen, Backer, Kevin Hansen, Loeb, Timmy Hansen down in P7. Gronholm, great job, P8. Shisharit, Eriksson, Balmanis and Markland. Markland makes it through to the semi-finals on his debut with GCK. Odds go semi-final 1. Evans goes semi-final 2. So the front row in semi-1 is an all Volkswagen affair. Solberg versus Kristoffersen. Kristoffersen needs 5th place or better to be crowned a double World Rallycross champion, just like his teammate Petter Solberg. On the right-hand side of your screen, semi-final 2, Ekstrom, Backerud, Loeb, Gronholm, Eriksson and Markland. So it's going to be fantastic to see what the Audis can do, Ekstrom and Backer. It's hard to pass here. Can they manage to get the jump on the start in the final? Neil managed to catch up with the champion-elect just before we were coming to the semis.
Johan, I know that you've had a special pair of gloves for every round this year. Can you just show us these ones? Because these have stars on them because of the stars and stripes, but also the 1 star for 1 championship. But today is the day that you may well be adding another star to that.
Yeah, hopefully. I don't know how many stars there is on the flag, but maybe 18, which might be the 18th win of the World RX today, and the 1 star is for the championship, and hopefully I can get 2 for next year. That's the target.
Now the grid for the semi-final, you're alongside the boss, Petter Solberg, who seems to have had a big up in form this weekend. I mean, does that offer you a threat, or are you going to be able to work together?
No, I think we are. I mean, we are always working together, and I think it's always good to have 2 cars really on the pace. And I have to say, Q4 I felt very, very strong, and I think I was almost 3 tenths clear of everyone else. So I think in terms of pace, it's been the best one for me this year so far. It's just that it's very tricky to pass, and the launches hasn't been great enough to be really using all the lap times that I managed to do. But we will see. Hopefully I will have a good launch now and get some free air after the first lap joker.
Now, obviously at this point in the season, everyone's doing a lot of maths. When you're in the car, are you doing the maths as well? Because we know how analytical you are.
No, I'm not actually, not when I'm driving, but you know, of course, I'm trying to just do the math in terms of scoring safe points without taking the biggest risk, like I always say. And if you do that correct, I don't think you don't need to do the maths in the car.
Just do the driving. Good luck.
Thank you.
He just needs to do the driving. Johan Kristoffersen on the front row with his teammate Petter Solberg. I'm sure they have a plan. We know what happens to plans in the World Rallycross Championship. Let's just say they don't always work out, because not everybody on the grid has the same plan as you. Let's see who is on that grid. Double World Rallycross champion Solberg, the top qualifier this weekend. Is he going to be joined by another double World Rallycross champion at the end of this race, Kristoffersen? I'm sure he won't celebrate until the final, but this is when he can tie it up mathematically, unless he has a disaster. Row 2, Kevin Hansen, Timmy Hansen. Well, they'll be keen to get their noses up the inside. We know they both charge very hard indeed. And bringing up the rear, Gulan Shishirit and Yanis Balmanis. What's going through that man's mind right now? Knowing Johan, he's probably thinking about start RPM and every possible advantage that he could take to get the advantage over everyone else. He'll want to win. He won the championship last year with a win in Latvia. He can win it here in semi-final number 1 with a 5th place. We know he's going to want to do better than that. Here we go, ready to race. Green light, brilliant start. Kristoffersson shuts the door on Kevin Hansen behind. Kevin Hansen moves to the inside. Shishirit's going to try and get the inside too. Kristoffersson goes Joker. Oh, Shishirit in the back of Timmy Hansen. Timmy Hansen gets fired. Nearly picks on the back of Kristoffersson, but not quite. Shishirit drops in. It's Balmanis in the back of that pack, and on the standard lap it's Solberg and Kevin Hansen.
This is all playing into the hands of Kristoffersson. He's already up into P3. He's already secured his place in the final. He just needs to get his head down and catch up to his teammate Kevin Hansen in front of him to maybe secure himself a better position.
Was worried there in turn 1 when Shishirit was late on the brakes. He picked up the back of Timmy Hansen and he fired him forward there, and of course that wouldn't have been Timmy's fault. He was a bit of a passenger. Somehow he's managed to hold on just in front of Shishirit. Look at Solberg, absolutely on a mission as he comes out. Solberg goes Joker on lap 2. Kevin Hansen is going to be leading this semi-final. Kevin Hansen around the right-hander is going to come down towards the gravel hairpin. Look at Solberg. Solberg trying to get in front of Kristoffersson. He does. So Solberg's responded to his own teammate. Into the back of Kristoffersson goes Timmy Hansen, and Solberg has managed to get the jump on Johan.
Yeah, very sensible move there from the VW guys. Obviously they had to fend off each other, but Johan not charging too hard to try and get that position. He knows he's currently in P3, and if him and Petter work together, they can catch up Hansen. So he needs to just work with him now. There's no point fighting now. He's just going to do damage.
Kevin Hansen leading this one. Kevin then has got to try and find himself a gap. We know it's about 2 seconds. Kevin staying out in front at the moment. I mean, if he'd gone there in theory, Kevin could have got in front of his own teammate, his own brother, Timmy Hansen. So Kevin Hansen leading this one. He's trying to find a slot down. And when you're the spotter, how on earth do you figure out where they're going to slot into this train of 5 cars?
It's so hard, especially when there's such a minimal gap between the guys out there. It's just trying to figure out the gap and then when to call, because it's such a short lap here that, you know, you could be making the call very last minute, so you don't want to be throwing the driver off to get him in.
Kevin Hansen has to go now if he wants to get out in front of his brother Timmy. He goes. Kevin Hansen sideways into the Joker lap, round the outside. This for a spot in the semi-final, but it's going to cost his brother if he makes it. Timmy versus Kevin on the brakes. Kevin slots into P4 and Timmy goes through, so Timmy is up into 3rd place. It's not over yet, Dan, but he didn't make it through. That would basically mean that he's given up the spot. I wonder if he's done it for Peugeot.
Of course, yeah. You know, you don't want to risk taking both Peugeots out. You know, they could have had a bit of a coming together then, which would have allowed Shishirit to make up for the time if these two had come together. So it's more important to get a Peugeot in the final rather than to think about yourself in this situation.
Fastest lap of the day, Petter Solberg. He absolutely means business. If you're in any doubt about that, he wasn't a joker to take that position off Johan Kristoffersson. He is in front of his teammate Johan now. They fly the jump massively. Look at that. What a fantastic shot. 6 cars in a row taking airtime here at the Circuit of the Americas in front of a grandstand full of American fans. Thoroughly entertained all day long by both America's Rallycross and World Rallycross. Kristoffersson chasing so hard to get towards Solberg at the front. Solberg, look, flying. Timmy Hansen going well as well. Kevin Hansen been so good this season, massively well improved. But this is all about Johan Kristoffersson. If you needed any reminder of how good he is, he takes the fastest lap of the day. Kristoffersson is in the back of his teammate, Petter Solberg. Solberg is a World Rally champion. He's a double World Rallycross champion. Kristoffersson is the current World Rallycross champion. And he, with this lap, just a few corners to go, is going to make himself a legend in Rallycross terms. Kristoffersson, as he crosses the line, is going to become the 2018 FIA World Rallycross champion. He's a double World Rallycross champion. Fantastic performance. He knew he needed 5th, no major reaction from him. I think there's a sigh of relief in there. There's some emotion on his face, Dan. That's it. It's a season-long effort, and he's got the job done. Now he's just got to go and try and take the win.
Yeah, no pressure now for the final, so fantastic to get it secured as soon as he could. You know, you saw as soon as he crossed the line, you could see his smile underneath his helmet, even though it's not clearly visible, but and then his eyes are just...
The shoulders too, you saw the shoulders drop, the tension come out of it.
Yeah, just so much weight off of this guy's shoulders.
Brilliant. There you go, Swedish flags up at the grandstands. They've done the maths. You guys have done it at home, I'm sure. Solberg's going to give him a run for his money in the final. I can't wait for that because it's going to be no holds barred. Here's the result of semi-final number 1. Solberg takes it from his teammate Johan Kristoffersson, who with those 5 championship points becomes unbeatable this season. He is the World Rallycross champion, a double World Rallycross champion. Timmy Hansen takes P3. Did Kevin give it up or not? We don't know. Janis Baumann is 5th. Shisharit is down in 6th. Right, that's it. That's the main part of the drama dealt with. We know where we are now. Johan Kristoffersson is with Neil Cole, so let's go down and see just how relieved he's feeling, or if he's super focused on that win.
Johan, you're into the final here at COTA, but more importantly, you are champion again. Double world champion, first ever Swedish double world FIA champion.
Yeah, it feels nice. I felt very strong on the pace, to be honest, in this heat, so tried to save a little bit of tires, but now I'm looking forward for the final, and of course, you know, it's a nice feeling to be champion, but we still have 1 heat to go today.
But you're so calm and collected, it's a big deal.
Yeah, it's a big deal, but to be able to do big deals, you have to be calm and collected.
Okay, good luck in the final.
Thank you.
Legend, absolute legend. To be able to do big things, you have to stay calm and collected. What can we expect from Kristoffersson in the final? I tried to save my tyres a bit. He was really lucky here, Dan, not to get taken out in turn 1.
Yeah, that just worked out perfectly for him. You know, Shisharit just maybe overshot his brakes and caught the back of Hansen, and you see it on board here now. Oh, he did touch him. Hansen did give him a little touch, but I think it just helped him out of the corner.
That was horrible for Timmy too, because Timmy wouldn't want to take Johan out. I know that, and to get collected from the rear there, you know, you're like, no. You mentioned it earlier today. It's just a horrible feeling when you can't stop the car. The momentum's in it.
Yeah, everything just goes tense when you're at this point. So it would have probably been a similar feeling there for Kevin as he comes out to merge with his brother. So we didn't want to see any Peugeot in the tension tent either. So
if Kevin had gone a lap earlier, I think he could possibly have edged it, but you know, he didn't on this occasion. Kristoffersson, P2, is the World Rallycross champion. He's going to be on row 2 for the final. Great stuff from semi-final number 1. Super close between it. Our 3rd champion of the day crowned. We've got more to come. Woo, okay. Deep breath. There are the Swedish fans at the top of the grandstand. They're celebrating a little bit already. We know Johan was going to celebrate at the end of the day. Johan is all about the win. He's super focused. He'll want to. I know what Johan's like. He'll want to break every other record. He'll be annoyed at the end of the season if he wins them all. He'll be annoyed he lost Mete. You know, that's what he's like. Let's take a look at Johan Kristoffersson start on board with the champion now, up towards turn 1. Listen in. High up the RPM in 3rd gear there, Dan.
Yeah, so you don't want to change up into 4th, because if you're immediately going to hit the brakes and go down the box again, you maybe lost a 10th, 2 tenths. So staying in a 3rd gear there to rev it out and to get into the corner.
Over the jump, a little bit on the limit to break it down. You can hear the clunk of the gears.
I love riding on board with Johan. He makes it look so easy. He's so calm inside the car. He's coming into the corner in minute steering inputs as he comes around here. It's not an easy track to drive. You can see from on board here how blind the entrance is into turn 1, and he's cranking it before he can even see the apex.
So his teammate Solberg's gone joker now, and here comes Petter. Look to your left. There he is. Just winds the lock off just a little bit down to give him room, because he doesn't want, it's broken steering there would have been an absolute nightmare, wouldn't it? Solberg into the garage with the win. Double 1 on the side of his car. So, of course, when Kristoffersson took the title off him last year, he became the number 1. Solberg took the number 11 because he's a double World Rallycross champion. Kristoffersson will be keeping the number 1 for next year, won't he? Yeah. Solberg's back. Super emotional yesterday. Oh dear, okay, apologies for Petter's language in his own pit garage. You can tell he's enthusiastic. Yeah, well, at least you get a real reaction when you see them in the garage, don't you? When we stick a camera in their face, they're always on super pro mode. When there's one hidden in the garage, he wasn't quite sure, was he? I'll tell him later. So car getting jacked up, down. These guys are going to have to work super fast. They've got about 5-10 minutes to re-prep this car. They've got more time than the guys who are in the next semi-final.
Yeah, straight to work. So it's quite fortunate for VW to have both cars in semi-1. So, they both get a bit more time than the guys in semi-2 to work on the car. So Johan coming into the pits now. Let's see his reaction.
Yes, that's it, starting it out.
Looks like a boss with the sunglasses on, doesn't he?
He does, doesn't he? High five in the paddock. The boys have got work to do. the world champion is in the paddock. He's probably going to head out the back and see where he can go even faster. Johan Kristoffersson is back in his garage. The team have given him a few high fives. There's a few hugs going around out the back there because the job's done. But the job's not finished. There's no cherry on the icing, is there, Dan? And that's what he wants here. You know, he won last year. He actually won in the final last year in Latvia, which was amazing. You know, he won the final, won the championship. Here he's won the championship in the semi. He wants to win the final too, doesn't he?
Yeah, that's Johan Kristoffersson all over. I know how much he likes to be perfect, and that's what he's going to go for.
Well, so far in the semi-finals, it's been an all-Volkswagen party, hasn't it? Solberg and Kristoffersson booking their places on row 1 and row 2. Kristoffersson winning the championship with that performance in semi-final number 1. But Audi would really like to spoil the party. Had a good opportunity to do so at Loyac this year, and I'm afraid that was somewhat squandered. So can they make amends for that now? Because both cars are on the front row here. You've got Baccarat and Ekstrom. I'm certain they'll split the strategy because these guys are going to take no risks with each other, are they, Dan?
No, exactly. We saw a split in the strategy with VW, and I'm sure we'll see it again with these guys. You don't want to be taking each other out in turn 1 chaos.
Now, Sebastian Loeb on the second row, not going to be quite so bothered about Audi's strategy, is he? The Peugeot man wants to make it through as well. Timmy Hansen, of course, has gone through. Kevin Hansen just misses out. They'd like to see 2 Peugeot. There you go, look, back with Petter and Johan. Yeah. Job done. Sandra Evans there as well. Greeting all the members of the team, greeted the car designers already, the people behind it, the masterminds at Volkswagen. I say he wants to crown the weekend off with a win. So there's 6 people here who are looking to stop him. Let's take a look at the grid for semi-final number 2. Front row, Matthias Ekstrom and Andreas Baccarat, the 2 Audi pilots, really would love to spoil the Volkswagen party. It's going to be a party either way. We've got a world champion, but, you know, they'd like to take the win, make it a tricky one. Sebastian Loeb and Niklas Gronholm on row 2. And bringing up the rear, Kevin Eriksson and Anton Markland. Eriksson will be pleased to have made it through to the semis. Markland too, of course, on his debut with GCK. Sebastian Loeb looking as calm as ever, doesn't ever really psych himself up. When you're a 9-time World Rally champion, you don't really need psyching up. You know you can get the job done. They've been working on their starts. We know Audi have been working on their starts. Of course, unfortunately, the only car they've got to beat is their teammate. Marshall heads up to the back of the grid. Thumbs up to each of the drivers. Here we go. Watch for those start lights. Ready to race is about to come on. Full noise here at COTA in America. Brilliant start across the front row. Sebastian Loeb, Gronholm moving up in behind Baccarat. Baccarat goes Joker. Ekstrom goes standard lap. Gronholm trying to go around the outside of Matthias Ekstrom. Ekstrom's got that done. Sebastian Loeb got in. Kevin Eriksson has managed to edge Markland on the Joker lap. So we've got 2 trains of cars, and they're both led by an Audi.
Interestingly there, Gronholm going for around the outside. I was expecting to see him go into the Joker lap. So he's gone on around the outside of Sebastian Loeb and tried to find some grip there, and unfortunately he wasn't able to do that. We saw him do it earlier on in the day, but he couldn't make it stick.
So Gronholm went for the outside line in turn 1, but maybe a little bit too much dirt. Ekstrom leading this one. He's still on the back of the train down. We know it's about 2 seconds. You know, Baccarat is 2.3 off the back, so he's only 1.4 off Gronholm. So Baccarat is already in the mix. Gronholm, I suppose, needs to be looking at the guys who are down in P5 and P6 to see if he can get somewhere amongst the top 3.
Yeah, so you can see there's already a gap between Baccarat and Eriksson there. So Gronholm spotters will be looking to see if he can fit in that gap and if he's got time to pop in the Joker. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw him go on this lap.
So Gronholm maybe will Joker this lap to try and hope that he can pick up the pieces, but to me, you're looking at Baccarat. He does. Gronholm goes now. Great analysis from Dan Rook. Gronholm goes to the Joker lap. He's looking at Baccarat. But Backward, I think, is going to come out way in front. He does. So Gronholm over the paint on the outside, managed to defend the position from Kevin Eriksson. But Backward at the moment is up into P3. He's the leader of the 4 guys who've taken the joke lap. Ekstrom and Loeb still to go, just 0.4 of a second between our 2 leaders in the Audi and the Peugeot. Fastest lap of the day, Andreas Backward. The Audi has the pace to get this done.
Yeah, so he's really chasing down Loeb now. He knows he's got to pull it out of the bag because, you know, Loeb is no slow coach. So he's really pulling it out, trying to get on the back of it so we can see an Audi 1-2 here.
I'll tell you what, Backward as well would like to get the better of his teammates. So it's 2 seconds between Ekstrom and Backward. Look down the bottom right of your screen. At the minute, our Joker lap predicts I think Backward would get Ekstrom. He would love to get in front of Ekstrom and book himself a slot on the front row. Norwegian versus Norwegian against Solberg. And that's the Ekstrom versus Christophersen, 2 Swedes on row 2. A mix-up of Audi and Volkswagen. Ekstrom and Loeb through the right are either going to Joker this time or they're going to hold on until the last lap. And what can Backward do with that gap? It was 2.197. What's it going to be when they cross the line this time? They both go standard lap, and he's gone up. The gap's gone up, so Ekstrom's got the hammer down. Has he managed to close down on Loeb, though?
No, so it's looking like Ekstrom's responded with a super fast lap. He's fastest lap of the day by the looks of it. So, yeah, so he's responded to his teammate Backward, and it looks like maybe Loeb's gone with him a tiny bit, so we'll see what happens here.
I think Backward might get Loeb at the merge, but it's going to be very, very tight indeed. Last lap joke for semi-final 2 for your leaders. Ekstrom and Loeb, they're going to slot right now. Here they go, carrying that extra speed up into turn 1, round the tarmac. Backward on the inside, you can nick a place on row 2. Sebastian Loeb, yes, they had big contact at the Joker Lap merge, and he gets out just in front. Backward looks for the undercut underneath, but Loeb's twice to that, and he's got the door shut.
Yeah, these guys, they've been performing that overtake all day, so Loeb's responded with the fastest lap of the day again for Loeb, so he knew he had to pull that gap back down, so fantastic work from the Peugeot. 0.2 of a second faster than Ekstrom had gone. The Peugeot has the pace, the Volkswagen has the pace, the Audi too, and on this occasion it's going to be the Audi that wins semi-final number 2. Ekstrom's going to go through to the front row, Sebastian Loeb through to row 2, and row 3 will be Andreas Backward. Great race, Supercoast. Gronholm unlucky to miss out. He was right on the back of that train. Gronholm was only 0.4 of a second off making it through to the final again. So Gronholm so good this season. But Ekstrom has taken it. Matthias Ekstrom wins semi-final number 2 from Sebastian Loeb and Andreas Backward. Each of those guys banging in fastest laps to get that job done. Gronholm, Eriksson and Markland are out. It's going to be a fantastic final. Who's got the pace to take this one? Ekstrom rolling the car back towards the paddock. He's not going to want to hang around for very long, is he? Because they're going to need to get that re-prepped as fast as they possibly can. A couple of Backward fans right up at the top of the grandstand there. Enjoying this, I'm sure, and their man, of course, is through to the final, coming up soon. Yeah, they're quite excited, aren't they? To be fair, they really are quite excited. I think we're going to take a look back at some more of the action. So this was off the start, Dan. Gronholm moves straight to the inside, didn't need to cover off from the rear. Look at Loeb here. So Loeb moves to the inside immediately. So Loeb knew where he was going, didn't he? He knew he wasn't going to beat them down to the first corner. Yeah, Loeb was almost sort of boxed in his position, so he had really no other choice than to go the standard lap. And like I said earlier, I was surprised to see Gronholm sticking it there.
Yeah, Gronholm's done really well this weekend. He raced hard against Christophersen earlier on. I've been super impressed with him. He's definitely my most improved this year. Look at Loeb slotting in just in front of Backward, and that was only that. Dan, that's the 2/10 that was fastest lap of the day. When your spotter comes on the radio and goes, dude, fastest lap of the day, you need it, and you get it done. That is the mark of an incredible driver. And Ekstrom had done it the lap before, Backward had done it earlier in the race.
Yeah, it just shows how precise these guys have been, and they're always finding time, so fantastic job. Shows the level that we are at.
Yeah, incredible. World Championship performances. In fact, all our world champions through to the final. 2 double world champions and a single world champion in Ekstrom. That's only Rallycross, of course, taking that into account. We've got a 9-time World Rally champion and Petter Solberg going through with his 1 World Rally Championship as well. We need someone add up how many World Championships are in this final. Fantastic.
All factory drivers as well into the final, so they'll be all pleased with that.
Massively, all to play for. We're going to take a look at the start on board from Ekstrom.
So yeah, super calm coming into turn one. He knew he picked his braking point perfectly, so he didn't run wide coming out of turn one. And you know, super calm and collective. You see a tiny little, well, no, not a tiny grab. Sorry, quite a long grab on the handbrake to get the car rotated, but not too much of a throw. These guys are just very, very smooth out of these corners. Too much sideways and they'll be losing time, so they want to have all four wheels pointing in the same direction when they come out of all of these twisty turns. So good first lap here from Ekstrom. He's so yeah, just driving the car into turn one. I'm surprised he didn't use any handbrake there, didn't need to, so perfectly well balanced in the Audi. He's again very, very tidy, and a couple of short shifts up to get it up through the gears and over the jump, and I love how calm these guys are. You know, very, very minimal inputs.
Fantastic stuff. Thank you, Dan Root, riding on board with Ekstrom. Two great semi-finals here. Crowned our World Rallycross champion. And we have a brilliant final coming up for these fans in the grandstands here. Beautiful, beautiful sunshine. It's so different to yesterday. So different to yesterday. Right, so we haven't just had, of course, the World Rallycross Championship here this weekend. We've also had America's Rallycross. Now, America's Rallycross actually came to COTA early in the year on its own. It had another doubleheader at Silverstone with the World Championship and, of course, a doubleheader in Canada as well up at Trois Rivières. We had the semi-finals earlier on today. We've got the final coming up for you as it happened earlier on this afternoon, but we crowned our champion in the semi-finals. So let's take a look at the action from those two America's Rallycross semi-finals for Supercar. So this was semi-final number one. On the inside, Tanner Faust. Tanner can only really control his own destiny here. Oliver Bennett going around. We weren't sure whether there was contact or not there. This was Faust getting in front of Steve Arpin. Steve Arpin's done a brilliant job. You guys who watch the World Championship normally will recognise the Focus R SRX. It's been moved across the States, and Arpin and Block have been racing it under the Lowenbro Hoonigan Racing Division banner. Faust had taken semi number one. Scott Speed was going to try and take semi number two. He had a gap of 8 points. 8 points, of course, is what's up for grabs in the final. So he knew that if he took the win in the semi-final, it was impossible for Faust to beat him. And Scott was very pleased indeed. Look at that, over the moon, fist pumps, winning the title at COTA.
Scott, mathematically you are now the first ever America's Rallycross champion. Tell us how you're feeling right now.
Oh, it's great, man. What an awesome weekend. Like, it's awesome now, but I gotta tell you, like, after Q2, Q3, it was looking rough, man. We were so many points back, and then I knew in that Q4 with Tanner on the inside, that was the championship. Like, if he would have gotten underneath me in the Joker, I would have finished 4th or 5th again, and I'd have lost probably 6-7 points going in the final. And to get that Q4 win and then to come out here and win the semifinal, lock it up, yes! Woo!
There was a lot of fighting going on behind you, but luckily Ken kept it clean.
I will say this, Ken at least raced me super clean right there. I mean, there was some bumping, but nothing that was too much. Like, I really appreciate him playing clean there.
Congratulations, but you just have to officially start the final.
Yeah, I'll be there.
Time then for the last final of America's Rallycross 2018, and what a stormer we have in store for you. Faust and Speed on the front row, the teammates for Volkswagen Andretti Racing. Onto row 2, Ken Block and Steve Arpin. Brilliant to see those two guys here with the Ford Focus R SRX. Bringing up the rear, we've got the two Subarus of Sandell and Heikkinen. Heikkinen on his first outing with this team, done a brilliant job.
Heikkinen does really good on this outside line of the Joker and really sets it up and gets a good run out of it. So here we go at the start.
Here we go, ready to race. Cars are all in gear. Revs up, anti-lag on for the last time this year for America's Rallycross. Oh, Block with not the best spark, moves straight across to the inside, but he's already been done. Sandell's gone straight past Block. Block retires, Arpin up the inside. Speed goes straight into the Joker lap. It's Tanner Faust from Steve Arpin, and Ken Block pulls off towards the paddock. So I think Ken knew that he had a problem with the car there, Bucky, because he didn't even take the start and he moved right into the lead.
He knew right away that he had an issue with the car and got it out of the way, but he did want to start the final.
Right, so this is now going to come down, I think, to Arpin and Speed in P2 and P3. So Faust out front wants to gap it as much as possible. He will be hoping that Arpin does not joker and that Speed catches up to him and it costs him time.
But last race, we saw how fast Arpin was, so I don't think that there isn't going to be any joker strategy here. It's just put in some fast laps.
Okay, so what's the gap then between Faust and Speed? We know it's about 1.8, so in theory Faust could go down, but you need to see whether or not Speed starts to close that gap down or not. Tanner Faust would love to eke all the win stakes here. He can't take the title from Scott Speed because Scott has started the final. So that means he definitely gets his 1 point for this race. So Faust leading from Arpin, and the gap's going up to Speed. So at the minute, Tanner Faust is looking on for this. He's absolutely flying out front. So when do you go, Bucky? If you look at that, the car three-wheeling. Arpin's gone, so that's released Scott Speed. So Arpin has gone, so now it's up to Faust Scott whether they send him, because they know that Scott's got super clear air in front or not. Arpin has gone in response, look to Hakkinen behind, so Hakkinen and Sandell were right there. They were closer than I thought. This is good pace for the Subarus.
There's still a chance for a Subaru on the podium here. There's
two of them.
Yeah, there's two there, so Speed right now is 2.5 off of Faust.
It's super close. So you've either got to send Faust now and hope that he comes out in front of his teammate. What are his spotters going to decide? You're going to know soon enough. Faust goes into the joker lap. Faust is in the joker lap. Speed on the inside. This then for the final win of the year. There's a couple of laps left to go, but this is the key moment. Tanner Faust checks up on the inside. Scott Speed goes out wide. Or Faust still crossed up on the brakes. Speed going to try and find the exit Speed, but indeed Tanner has got it tidied up. Lovely job. Tanner Faust, a door on the brakes there. He was just a little bit sideways, Bucky.
Tanner covered him up well. He knew he wasn't going to be faster around that turn, but he wanted to be the first one there.
So this is going to be, yeah, he did indeed shut the door beautifully. He's obviously seen some of the people slotting up the inside of that joker lap merge. Speed with a couple of laps to chase his teammate now. Tanner's just got to keep a cool head, but Speed, of course, will be super relaxed because he knows he's the champion, so this is going to be great. Behind them, Arpin has just got a tiny little gap over Hakkinen, a few tenths of a second. Faust from Speed for the final win of the year. Remember, Speed's got 2 wins. He won at Kota in Canada. Faust won at Silverstone. He'd love to equal it at 2 wins apiece.
Arpin about a second out in front of Toppy right now.
Faust using every inch of the road in the Beetle. Tidy job through the long right-hander. He looks comfortable. Look, he's managed to gap Scott, hasn't he? You know, Tanner was... Scott played it brilliantly, to be fair to him. In Q4, we were looking at a 4-point deficit, and that would have meant that this was all on the line now in terms of points. It would have been super close for us to be working out who was going to get it. And then when Arpin ended up in the wall in Q4, he was in P2. He dropped down. Speed capitalised by taking the fastest time. You know, he got it all together at just the right time. He's been nervous today, Speed, and I'm pleased to see that because it goes to show what it means to him to get the championship job done.
Yeah. He showed some emotion today, that's for sure.
He did indeed. Tanner Faust round that long right-hander with a 1.5-second gap over his teammate. The checker flag falls and Faust takes the final win in America's Rallycross 2018. It's 2 wins apiece for him and his teammate. And it's P1 and P2 in the standing. Speed is the champion, Faust the runner-up. Fantastic job by Volkswagen Andretti Racing all season long. Arpin takes the final podium of the year. And that is Arpin's first podium as well. So Arpin making it through to the final in Canada and taking a podium on his last outing in America's Rallycross. Really good job by Steve. Been smiling all weekend and enjoying his racing, so it's great to see him up on the podium.
Good job, guys. That was an awesome race.
Pretty tidy, really, wasn't it?
Yeah,
I think once Block was gone, of course, you know, in our build-up to the final, we were convinced he was going to play. He would have done, Bucky, because, like you said, he would have been there behind Faust, which would have stopped Speed slotting into P2. Speed actually went joker anyway. I mean, maybe that was his tactic to get himself out of the situation. But then you're in danger, I say, of maybe catching up to the Subarus. Maybe he looked at the Subaru lap times and thought, you know what, they're fast enough now that I can follow them for a couple of laps, which he, you know, it wasn't a problem, but. Anyway, Speed, the champion, Faust, the winner. There you go. Tanner Faust wins the final round of America's Rallycross 2018 Kota. Scott Speed in P2, tying up the championship. Steve Arpin with his first podium in the series at the final round. Hakkinen, a great debut for Subaru, 4th. Sandell and Ken Block, unfortunately, with a DNF. Here's a look at the start again. Yeah, look, Block just moved straight over. It straight off the start, Bucky, so he knew, didn't he? I wonder if he broke something on the pre-launch.
Yeah, it looks like he kind of knew something was broke going into it, that he wasn't going to finish.
Tidy race after that, really. Faust at the merge, you know, it was looking pretty dicey. When they were coming round to this point, we knew they were going to be super close together, but Faust got out in front of Speed. Speed then followed him, but, you know, a lap or so later, Tanner had got the gap up to 1.5, and at that point, he had a little bit of breathing space. So Tanner, I'm sure, will be really, really pleased to have taken the final victory of the year. And that was how it finished. Scott Speed taking the title, 112 points from Tanner Faust on 107. Sandell, no podiums for Subaru in the series this year, but Sandell managing to close out third place in the overall result. Ken Block in fourth, good job by him considering he missed the first round. And he got Chris Atkinson, Steve Arpin, Oliver Bennett and Liam Dorn. Of course, two outings for Liam, once in the GCK Megane and once in the Citroen back at Silverstone. So a great first season for America's Rallycross and a worthy champion in Scott Speed. Just the one race left to go here at the Circuit of the Americas, Austin, Texas in the USA. Let's head down to the pre-grid and catch up with Neil Cole.
Well, Timmy, the gloves are coming on, the helmet's already on. It's not been an easy weekend for you here in America, but what can you do from the back row of the final grid?
I can do anything. There's nothing to lose, is it? So I'm already starting last. That means I have free option into turn one because no one can overtake me, you know. So I can try some out-of-the-box thinking. I think that's the plan.
Okay, we'll look forward to watching that. Good luck.
Thank you.
Interesting, Dan, when he says out of the box thinking, they've obviously got a plan to do something a little bit different in the first corner, I would suggest, from that.
Yeah, it sounds like maybe they're going to try and throw some of the other guys off. I like it when drivers say that. You know, you never know what to expect now rolling into turn one.
I guess he's going to see what everybody else does. Maybe we'll see Hansen make a cut back to the standard lap from the outside. Neil Cole's found another one.
Yeah. Right, Sebastian, the netting's going up. It's time to race. Can you beat Johan again as the only person who's done it this year?
I didn't listen, I'm on the radio. What you said?
Can you beat Johan?
I don't know, I will try my best for sure, but in this situation it's never easy when you start second row, but I will try.
Okay, good luck.
So Loeb on the radio there, that's why you couldn't hear Neil. Remember, they've got huge headphones underneath, like rally headsets inside those crash helmets to listen to the spotters, to try to cut out some of the noise of these 600 horsepower supercars, straight cut transmissions, gravel flying, contact. You need as much quiet as you can get in one of these missiles to be able to hear what's going on from your spotters. Kristoffersson starts the car. Swedish fans in the stands. You can hear in the background there the wonderful noise of these 6 cars being started. Everybody, the tension building, ramping up to the point at which we're going to send these guys down into the first corner. I'm excited, Dan, because it seems clear to me from the pace that we saw in the semi-finals that all 3 of the guys, the manufacturers that are in here, have got the pace to take it.
Yeah, everybody is on such a level playing field here, but obviously, as we know, where you come out of turn one or out of the Joker does tend to decide where you finish. So with it being the final, I wouldn't be surprised if we see a bit of argy-bargy.
Yeah, indeed. We've got some form with some of the battles in here as well. Of course, Hansen earlier on this weekend making it very clear that he wasn't very happy with Audi. I wasn't so sure. I thought they were pretty fair. You know, everybody races hard, everybody wants to win. Solberg and Ekstrom. Bit of form there from earlier on this year. There are just 9 points between 2nd and 5th in the driver's standings. So much to play for there. We know Solberg would love to take P2. He wanted to take P1. That's gone. Kristoffersson confirmed himself with the big P1 for the end of the year. Solberg would like to take P2. So would Ekstrom. Ekstrom is currently 2nd in the standings, or he was when we came here. Pretty sure he will have remained there. He will have done after qualifying, so Ekstrom will have remained in P2. There's his practice launch. Have a little think about that now, Dan, and decide if he's happy with it.
Yeah, he's more than likely to have one of his engine engineers as well stood at the side of the track listening in to the RPM and the wheel spin, and they'll either confirm, you know, yep, that was a good launch, or they might say, okay, turn it up 1 click or down 1 click, depending on obviously how much wheel spin.
Second star needs to be embroidered onto those gloves. He's a double World Rallycross champion. Looks down at the dash, wants to make those final adjustments. Tighten the belts both sides, deep breath, here we go. On the handbrake, watching that. It's a good launch, I think. Dan, what do you think?
Yeah, it's rare that we see a bad launch from the Polos. They seem to have their starts fairly dialed, and the thing I love about these guys is they put their anti-lag on the car so much earlier than everybody else, trying to pick up the boost for their launch sequence.
Yeah, amazing stuff. That is Sebastian Loeb you're looking at in the Peugeot. Not so convinced that that was a perfect one. We only came to it a little late, so Hansen still to line up. Look, backward, just getting himself out of the way, doesn't want to get reversed into. So backward to line up on row 3, and it's Timmy Hansen who's going to have that nice clear look down the outside towards the first corner. But yeah, if it was a standard first corner, if it wasn't for a Joker lap split, it would be different. But you know, these guys, what can he do from there? I'm really keen to know what Timmy's outside the box thinking. Maybe he's just going to go over the grass and just take everyone out. I mean, I don't know. I can't see it myself, but
yeah, I'm intrigued to see what he's got going on, because obviously with a first corner Joker, it comes very much down to sometimes with the driver and what they can see around them as to if they should go or not. So I don't know whether they've already got a plan based on a certain scenario, or whether they're just going to wing it. I'm sure they're not going to wing it. These guys obviously are very professional teams, so they're going to have some plan in place, but they're going to want to either way get themselves in the best position.
Here then is the grid for the final of round 10 of the 2018 FIA World Rallycross Championship, Rallycross of the USA from the Circuit of the Americas, Austin in Texas. On the front row, a double World Rallycross champion and the 2016 World Rallycross champion, Solberg and Ekstrom, looking at a great fight between them. Christopherson, double World Rallycross champion today. Sebastian Loeb, 9-time World Rally champion. Bringing up the rear, Backerud and Timmy Hansen. Add on to that the fact that Solberg won the World Rally Championship as well. We have 15 FIA World Championship titles lining up on the grid to fire down towards turn 1. I think you're going to struggle to find another series that's got that kind of class. It's an all-factory lineup for round 10. 2 Audis, 2 Volkswagens, 2 Peugeots. Here we go, ready to race. Oh, Loeb moves across straight away, shutting the door on Backerud. Ekstrom looks like it's going straight on down to the Joker lap. He does. 4 cars Joker. 4 cars Joker. Ekstrom's gone. Christopherson 2. Loeb and Hansen. Hansen trying to find a way through. Christopherson's got Ekstrom trying to go around the outside, but he gets out in the dirt and he can't. Solberg leads, but Backerud's giving him a tap. Backerud's giving Solberg a tap on the standard lap. There they are. So Solberg leading from Backerud. Then it's Christopherson, Ekstrom, Hansen and Loeb.
Some real elbows out stuff there from Christopherson, and a good move there to tuck out from his grid position and to get into the Joker lap.
I think we might see Solberg respond immediately. Christopherson's got clean air. If he wants to take the win, Solberg's got to go Joker now for me. Solberg does. He goes Joker now. Petter Solberg looking for the win. He's got to beat Christopherson down to the merge if he wants to take it. Christopherson with wheel spin. Solberg fully committed. On the brakes, he's got to stop it. Christopherson looks up the inside, but he thinks better of it. Contact. Solberg sideways as he exits the hairpin. He's got Christopherson. Christopherson's run of wins might end here as Solberg gets in front of him at the merge. But don't count out Andreas Backerud. He's in clean air now, Dan.
Of course, yeah, but it's good to see Petter Solberg is back.
Oh, mega.
Johan's really going to have to work for this now, pass him on track if he wants to get past him. But I'm hoping Andreas can get some clean air as well. Personally, I want to see the end to the Volkswagen reign.
So Ekstrom, Supercharger World, Monster Energy Supercharger World goes to Matthias Ekstrom, super fast reactions. They were joking yesterday at the press conference. Backerud was saying the old guys always get the best reaction times. I said, mate, you've just got to wait 15 years, it will come, you know. But can Backerud take the win? He could have taken it at Lowiak earlier on, but Dan, he's got to get a bigger gap than that. He's 1.5 up on Solberg. Which way is the gap going?
For me, it looks like Solberg's closing him back in here. Just looking at some of the split times, Solberg's gained a 10th in the last 2 splits to Andreas. So
Backerud's gone Joker. Backerud's gone round the outside. Can he get Christopherson? Solberg is there. Backerud trying to make it stick. Oh, almost into Ekstrom. Backerud manages to get Matthias Ekstrom. He's ahead of his team boss. So Backerud just manages to get in front of Ekstrom. Everybody's joking. Now they're line astern. There's 2 laps to go down. If anyone wants to make a move, they're going to have to do it on track.
Yeah, so everybody joking now. So tactics are over. It's just down to how fast these guys can maybe catch up with each other and make a window for themselves to duck up the inside. So
that is my favourite piece of track here, the super committed piece of dirt that joins the back half of the circuit to the front. We've seen some spectacular driving through there. Loving the Joker lap merge as well. Look how committed Solberg was when he came out on lap 2, just desperate to get in front.
Out of the comments, we should see Petter's run wide.
Solberg's wide. Christopherson's gone up the inside. Solberg's made a mistake. Good spot down route. We were looking at the merge. Solberg has run wide. Christopherson, unbelievably, has managed to get past.
He's going to be loving this. Mr. Perfectionist Christopherson is out in front now and just got to hold off his teammate for another lap. Let's see what he can do.
Oh my goodness me. Solberg has dropped back behind Christopherson. I think we've got problems further back in the field. Drivers are dropping back, but Johan Christopherson has managed to get past Petter Solberg. So Christopherson just on incredible form. There's Pernilla there in the spotters tower calling out for Solberg.
I can just see in shot now, you can see Christopherson's bumpers hanging off, so maybe some contact.
So Christopherson then on the run down through the last couple of corners. He came here with one job to do. He wanted to win the World Rallycross Championship for the second time. He did that in the semi-finals, and he takes victory 9 out of 10 here at COTA. Christopherson, the World Rallycross Champion, the double World Rallycross Champion with the biggest drift send you have ever seen around the outside of Turn 1. Pitches the car into donuts in the middle of COTA. Fantastic drive. How did he get Solberg? Need to take another look back at that. I thought Solberg had got that for sure. 9 out of 10 for Johan Christopherson, the double World Rallycross Champion. How does he do it? How does he do it? I need to see that. So I thought it was a dead cert. We were in, okay, we're going to cruise this home mode. We've got 2 laps to go. We're talking about some different stuff. And, oh, wow. Okay, Neil Cole is with Tommy Christopherson, Johan's dad. So Neil Cole is with Tommy Christopherson, the double world champion's father.
Tommy, emotions running very high up here in the spotters tower. I don't know how Johan did it, but he won again, and he is champion.
Yeah, I don't know what to say. It's great feelings, to be honest. I didn't expect to win. It was tough whole weekend. Just wait for this 7 points. So to score now and to win last race now, it's amazing. I don't know. I cannot put word on it. It's just amazing. I'm so really proud over the team, over the effort that they put in, and also over the response they give over to Johan from Volkswagen, Bauhaus, and the other sponsors. It's really great. I'm so grateful.
Well done. Thank you.
Thank you.
Johan cruising back towards the paddock with the stars and stripes on his gloves. Brilliant stuff by him. Here's the result then of round 10 of the 2018 FIA World Rallycross Championship. Johan Christopherson taking 8 points. He'd already taken his second World Rallycross Championship title. He takes the win here. 9 out of 10. He'll be disappointed it's not 10. Solberg P2, Backerud P3, Loeb, Hansen, Matthias Ekstrom. Ekstrom taking the Monster Energy Supercharger. Well, something happened to Ekstrom later in that race because it dropped him down the pack, but wow, Christopherson. Let's take a look at the replays then and see if we can figure out just exactly what happened. So me and Dan were analysing everything, looking at the performance during the course of the weekend. This was the start. So Hansen went out super wide. I think he was going to, this was his plan, wasn't it, Dan? Was to cut back up the inside of everyone on the Joker, but it didn't work because 4 cars went there.
Yeah, and it looks like he did get a fairly good drive in there. You can see him. Yeah. So he managed to take his teammate Loeb there, but unfortunately nobody else. But Christopherson there moving out from his grid slot and securing his place on the inside of the Joker lap.
Now, we knew that Solberg would respond immediately. He had to, because if he didn't, and Christopherson, look, he has a look. If that had been anyone else, Christopherson would have gone for that. You can't do it with your teammate. It just can't happen, particularly when he also is the team boss. So that's the move. Okay, check this out. Here we go. This was Backerud coming out the merge. So Backerud gets team mate and team boss Ekstrom. Again, there you go. There's me saying you can't do that when it's your team boss. Well, you can if you're Andreas Backerud. So he has a look. Okay. It's the next run through here. Christopherson's P2, look. Wait for Solberg. Here he is, down into the hairpin. Drops it in the dirt. Yeah, he's dropped it in the dirt. He's made a mistake, and Christopherson's gone through. So there you go. Well, you cannot make this. You have to be perfect if you want to beat Johan Christopherson. Oliver Solberg and the spotter tower really, really upset when his dad didn't take the win. It would have been Petter's first win since 2017 at Lydden Hill. Instead it goes to Johan, who then put on an incredible display of car control with a drift around the outside before the donuts. If you've seen the drift, it's mega. It's literally the entrance to turn 1 all the way round to the point at which the Joker lap merges. It was a great celebration. He's done it. He's done it. Second star to be added to those gloves. There you go. Fantastic to be at Austin. What a host city to crown the 2018 FIA World Rallycross champion. So Neil Cole is with Pernilla Solberg, who I know will be pleased for Johan, but also disappointed for her husband, Petter.
Pernilla, what a roller coaster of emotions that final was, and indeed all weekend and all year. Just talk us through what was going on in your mind when Petter was leading that race after what he's been through and you've been through.
I mean, it's been, first of all, from the semis and the result we knew for Johan, it's amazing. So, I mean, it just felt so good to have both of them in the final. And Petter's had the most amazing speed all weekend. And for him to do this now after his illness, he's been really, really poorly for a long, long time. And it's been the best I've seen him for a long time. And then something with the brakes, he locked up the brakes in that hairpin and it was, oh no, he had it in his hand, you know, but still to finish second and you want to win again, you know, I can't be more than thrilled and happy.
Of course, it's great to see Petter back. He is definitely back, but you do have a champion.
Yes, we have a champion again. Oh, it's so fantastic.
Congratulations, enjoy this podium.
We will, thank you.
So yeah, you know, I think that's Oliver, and it's Oliver. But look how upset Oliver is. He's absolutely devastated. I feel really sorry for him, bless him. Emotions fully on his sleeve there. Like, his dad was super emotional yesterday, and if you don't feel a little bit of emotion there, you need to have a little think about things. He was gutted. He was in floods of tears at the back of the spotters tower, literally 12 feet to my left-hand side up, and you can see there he's still upset, but there's a guy who's not upset. Single digit. Holding tight, and I wonder if Johan finally cracking a little bit as well. The sunglasses are on. Just make sure we hide the emotions. Hugs from the whole team. They're going to get him up onto the podium. Oh, Pedro will be so disappointed. Look, don't get me wrong, Kristoffersen's a weapon. He's won the championship. I would have liked to have seen Solberg take it just because it was brilliant. But you can't do that, Dan. Like, you can't pass it. Kristoffersen said yesterday it's impossible to pass it. The guy in front of you is driving super safe, like so safe you don't make a mistake. You can't pass here. That's what he said. So Solberg would have known that, and yet he still made a little mistake and just allowed Johan through.
Yeah, and he had like a car, 2 car lengths as well. It's not like he had to push to stop Johan being on his bumper.
And Johan wouldn't have done anything silly anyway.
No, of course, and it just goes to show what happens if maybe being a tiny bit offline, and like Pernilla said, just locking up the brakes there, and unfortunately just running it wide, and Johan just filling that gap without a second invitation.
Incredible stuff. Podiums still to come. Well, that is the circuit of the Americas in the background there. We've had a beautiful day's weather. It's got better and better as it's gone on. There's the famous tower. You are about to meet another famous tower. He's a towering weapon of a driver, and he's a double World Rallycross champion. Let's hear from the Kristoffersen.
Johan, it's the first time we've come to America with World Rallycross. You didn't have to win to be champion, but you still won.
Yeah, I mean, the team gave me a great car, and I felt really strong on free practice already on the first 8 laps. And then I get a little bit stuck in traffic in Q1, so it didn't look so good to secure the championship already here this weekend. But Q2 was strong. They gave me a really good car. Also for Q3, I felt very strong in Q3. Q4 I won, and then semi-final, I had some really good tire strategy, so I was really strong in the semi-final and made the pass on Matthias in final, which was crucial to be on the podium. And then Petter had a small mistake, and that was enough.
Yeah, that we couldn't tell what had happened, and it looked like it was an overtake on Petter, but now we see that he locked up, and that's disappointing for him. But you can't, you've got to be ruthless.
I mean, when you're in the situation, you don't know if it's a mistake or if it's a puncture on his car or whatever it is, so you have to go for the gap. Of course, Petter would have deserved this win today, but at the same time, you have to put every corner together to be on the top. I mean, the competition is so hard, and I just managed to do the overtake on Matthias, and that was my key for the victory.
You are double world champion. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Well, Johan said it all, didn't he? There you go. Final confirmation with 2 rounds to go that Johan Kristoffersson is the 2018 FIA World Rallycross champion, retaining his title. Matthias Ekström currently second, Solberg up to third, Backerud down to fourth, Loeb down to fifth, Hansen is in sixth. Look at that. There's only 8 points in it between Ekström in second and Loeb in fifth. So the podium in the championship very much up for grabs.
I think it's safe to say that you are 110% back now, but you're very, very close to a win.
It was very close. I did a mistake and on the braking side, and that's it. But, of course, you can feel through the weekend you get tired. I need to come back on the fitness level, that's for sure. So you can see that fitness is very important having motorsport. But still, I'm very happy with my performance and driving. Johan won now. I gave him that one because of my missed braking, but very happy for him being the world champion in my team. And for me, that means a lot that he has been so consistent. No technical failure, you know, that's good from Volkswagen's side. So I think we have done a pretty good job, and now I hope I will be even stronger for the next race.
Well done, thank you.
Thank you very much, everybody.
Solberg disappointed, but, you know, look at that. The team that bears his name, PS RX Volkswagen Sweden, leading the table, 483 points to EKS Audi Sports 403. Remember, both cars score points in the team standings, so that title's still up for grabs with 2 rounds still to go. Team Peugeot, Total are in third. GRX Tanaco, great job by them. GC competition on their debut year, and Olsberg's MSC having a bit of a tough one in 2018. Yeah, Petter's disappointed, Dan. You know, you would be. He knows he made a mistake. Interesting what he said about the fitness, and I think it's a very fair point. Yes, he is feeling much, much better. But you'll know from your own motorsport, people think it's, A, it's very hard, B, it's very hard. You see it short races, they think it's not hard, but because of the stop-start nature of it, it's absolutely exhausting. I think rallycross is more exhausting than, say, a 40-minute stint because of the adrenaline going up and down all day. You need your fitness.
Yeah, and stamina is a really, really important thing when it comes to motorsport, and I know from my personal experience of being with the MSA that we get put on fitness camps, so that everybody needs to knuckle down on their fitness.
I'm hoping we'll see Solberg come back. You know, he's only got a fortnight to Germany, but he's got a good old break until we get to South Africa. So, you know, Backerud goading his own fan club who've come down from the grandstands just over the footbridge here at Kota to the podium. Hugs around for the Monster Energy girls, for the Monster Energy athletes up on the podium there. Yes, Johan! Double World Rallycross champion, Champagne Charles for himself. Wondered what he'd come up with for this one. Solberg in P2, Andreas Backerud in P3. So Kristoffersson, the world champion, on the top step of the podium again. Brilliant, brilliant performance. 9 out of 10. Is Metek going to be the one that got away? First time ever for the FIA World Rallycross Championship. Austin in Texas. Dan Rook, I've had an absolutely brilliant time. You and me have been lucky enough to be here twice. We came here for ARX as well, but what a great weekend.
Yeah, fantastic weekend. You know, coach has delivered some good driving, some good overtaking, and in such a great location. I've absolutely fallen in love with Austin.
Yeah, it's a great city. It is a great city. This is a good one to visit. You can get here easily from the UK, and we've seen plenty of Europeans here as well. And I've seen Americans driving up to 10 hours to come down here. They've flown in from all over the country. I know a couple of the guys have come down from Dirtfish Rally School. I think they drove for days to get here. Well worth it to see the action that we've seen this weekend. That was Timmy Hansen running the car out all the way onto the grass. Turn 1, first corner joker, always pretty tricky. This was Kevin Eriksson breaking the car earlier on in the weekend. Backward on a bit of a fly-up, was doing well in the Audi. Matthias Ekström as well, absolutely stunning performance from him this morning on a drying track. Ekström somehow managed to bang in one of the fastest times. Kristoffersson, though, in Q4 got the job done to make sure that he would be up towards the front of the grid come the sharp end of the day. The Polo's unstoppable again. Solberg looking like he would be unstoppable. This was the first of the semi-finals. Kristoffersson moved across to cover off behind. He didn't do anything silly to his teammate. Solberg responding very quickly to when Kristoffersson had taken his joker, and that meant that he was able to take the checkered flag in semi-final number 1. That was the point at which Kristoffersson had won the title, but he still had another job to do. Could he take his 9th win of the season? Sebastian Loeb, the Audis, they were looking super fast. Backwood did a fastest lap, Ekstrom did a fastest lap, Loeb did a fastest lap, all to book their slot and make it a full factory final with 15 FIA World Champions sitting on the grid. Absolutely incredible stuff. Kristoffersson had a look up the inside of Solberg, thought better of it. But just one lap later, Solberg made just the tiniest of mistakes, and he does not need asking twice. There it was, the moment at which the 2018 and double FIA World Rallycross champion slipped past his team boss to take his 9th victory from 10. There are 2 rounds to go. Will he make it 11 by the end of the year? You'll find out in a fortnight's time when we head to the famous Estering of Buxtehude in Germany. We'll see you there.